A bone spear, carrying the power of the emperor, pierced through the void. The emperor of the Bai family had just appeared, and before he could make a move, he was knocked away by the bone spear. The Purple Blood Clan is known as one of the strongest bloodlines of the human race. How come they don't even want to be shameless now? A demon clan strongman, with golden wings behind him, opened up the sky and the earth. The breath of the Purple Crown Emperor erupted like a volcano, and his huge figure blocked the Bai family elders. 2 Purple Crown Emperors appeared, and Luo Yanfeng and others noticed the situation over there. But they were too far away and didn't know what happened specifically. At this time, the old man of the Bai family had a gloomy face. According to the tacit rules of both parties, he could not interfere in the affairs of the battlefield, but he couldn't watch all the disciples of the Bai family die. Luo Yanfeng, the disciples of the Bai family are in trouble. Come to support them quickly. The elder of the Bai family roared. Ask for help so arrogantly? Long Chun was stunned when he heard it. Without waiting for Luo Yanfeng to respond, Long Chun shouted loudly, Disciples of the Luo family, listen up. The demons are about to use their ultimate moves. Take absolute defense. Luo Yanfeng and his men had clearly killed the demons and made them flee in all directions. Now they suddenly took absolute defense, which clearly meant that they were going to watch them die without helping. Long Chun, you? The elder of the Bai family was furious. Don't be such a babbler. If you have a move, you can use it. If you don't, you'll die. Long Chun responded with a sneer. The disciples of the Luo family, following Long Chen's orders, directly took a defensive stance and huddled together. Without the demons attacking, they also took a posture of being ready for battle. Long Chun, do you know what it means to watch someone die without helping him on the battlefield? You know, they are your blood relatives. The elder of the Bai family roared. Fuck your blood relatives. When your old bastard from the Bai family wanted to kill us, why didn't you think about your blood relatives? That idiot from the demon clan, this guy has broken the rules, and you are still standing there like a fool. Is the white bone spear in your hand reserved for your father's grave? Being morally kidnapped by the elder of the Bai family, Long Chun was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. How could there be such a shameless person in the Purple Blood Clan? In a rage, he also cursed the Demon Clan strongman. The Demon Clan strongman was suddenly scolded by a human, and he was so angry that his whole body trembled. But he couldn't attack a heavenly saint like Long Chun. Go to hell! The Demon Clan strongman was furious, holding a white bone spear, and killed the Bai Clan strongman. Bang! There was a loud bang, and the elder of the Bai family was no match for the Demon Clan strongman. He was shocked and vomited blood and retreated after a blow. Long Chun, you wait! The elder of the Bai family roared, and flashed away from the battlefield. You can't fight the enemy, but you still threaten me? Long Chun couldn't help but feel angry. Don't these idiots know that when you, Long San, get angry, the demons can only kneel down and beg for mercy? Boy, wait for me. Don't fall into my hands. Seeing the elders of the Bai family retreat, the demon emperor pointed at Long Chun and gritted his teeth. Get out of here. Facing the threat of the demon emperor, Long Chun cursed back. The demon warrior almost vomited blood in anger, and finally disappeared from the battlefield with a flash. Roar! The demon warrior disappeared, and countless demon warriors roared and killed from all directions in the west. Obviously, they should have received the order of the demon emperor to kill Long Chun. The disciples of the Bai family were already running out of energy, and the demon warriors who came like a tide directly devoured them and were all killed in an instant. Oh my God! There are too many of them. When the disciples of the Luo family saw the endless demon army, they were stunned. They are just a bunch of rabble. If you can't even deal with them, how can you be called the strongest bloodline? You don't form a formation, you don't form teams, you form a battle circle of 100 miles, and you can't even deal with these demon trash. Do we still have the nerve to shout the slogan of reviving the purple blood? Long Chen shouted loudly. Kill! Hearing Long Chen's shout, the warriors of the Luo family were eager to fight. They worshipped Long Chen and regarded him as a god. In Long Chen's words, the demons in front of him were just a bunch of trash. If they couldn't even defeat them, then wouldn't they be worse than trash? No need to hold back. Go all out and kill all these demon cubs. Long Chen shouted. Boom! When the disciples of the Luo family heard Long Chen's order not to hold back, they directly detonated the power of the dragon vein. At that moment, they were shocked to find that they had mastered such a terrifying power. The opponents who originally needed great effort to kill, now fell in groups under a sword. They realized that they had grown to this point invisibly. Buzz! At this moment, the void twisted slightly, and a huge eye emerged. When he saw the eye, Long Chen snorted coldly, unsheathed his long sword, and slashed out a sword. The eye was about to open, but was chopped by Long Chen's sword. Want to peek at the situation here? Dream on, Long Chen sneered. Even if you use your toes to think, you can tell that this must be the Bai family trying to spy on the battlefield. How can Long Chen let them do so? Be faster, more exaggerated, and more courageous. Long Chen shouted loudly. Long Chen found that even if the disciples of the Luo family were firing on all cylinders, they seemed to be somewhat restrained and still couldn't let go. To put it bluntly, it was because they had too little experience. They must be allowed to let go completely in order to gain more experience. Puff, puff, puff. With Long Chen's encouragement, the disciples of the Luo family became more and more courageous. Their moves became more and more fluent, and their changes of moves were no longer rigid. Finally, they felt like they were flowing like clouds and water. And the disciples of the Luo family only then understood what a real battle was. Forget all the experience you have accumulated in the arena and in the school before. Remember the feeling of your body, listen to the sound of the weapon, and accept the guidance of your perception. Long Chen's voice resounded throughout the battlefield. His voice sounded like a morning bell in the ears of the Luo family disciples, which was thought-provoking. In the endless killing, they seemed to have entered a brand new world. That feeling was indescribable. The battle lasted for half an hour, and the ground was covered with corpses. It was unknown how many powerful demons were killed. Long Chen kept collecting corpses, but just after cleaning them up, the corpses would cover the ground again in a few breaths. Seeing that the powerful demons were getting fewer and fewer, the demon army finally couldn't hold on and fled in all directions. Long Chen found that when more than half of the demon army died, the demon army would flee in all directions. This seemed to be a rule for them. Oh, roar! When the demon army was defeated, the disciples of the Luo family cheered loudly. They won, they actually won. They didn't rely on teamwork or formation tricks. They just relied on the most basic strength to defeat the endless demons. At that moment, endless pride rose in their hearts. A passionate battle directly consumed everyone's blood power, but the hearty feeling made them extremely excited. Brothers, go home to get your rewards, Long Chen shouted. The disciples of the Luo family cheered, and they realized that this crazy battle allowed them to get endless killing points. The killing value of Luo Yanfeng and other strong men soared to more than 1 million. What excited them most was that, for some reason, their identity nameplates changed from transparent to bronze. Now, one knew why this happened, but it was definitely not a bad thing. When Long Chen and others returned to the clan, they immediately felt a strange atmosphere. The 4 elders were already waiting for them. Long Chen, the clan leader wants you to come over. What do you mean? When they saw that the 2 elders were neither from the Luo family nor the Bai family, Luo Yanfeng and the others immediately felt something was wrong. The elder said expressionlessly, "We don't know the specific situation either. We are just responsible for leading the people. It must be because of the Bai family. Well, they are the first to complain." Luo Yanfeng and the others were furious. Although Luo Yanfeng and the others had little combat experience, the Bai family disciples appeared quietly not far from them, which clearly showed that they had bad intentions. Now they are the first to complain and want to make things bigger. Luo Yanfeng and the others were all indignant. Every one of us has a part in this matter. Let's go together. Luo Ying shouted loudly. The others also had an attitude of sharing happiness and suffering. For a time, the crowd was excited. They absolutely could not let Longchen suffer. Noisy! One of the elders shouted coldly. How can we allow you youngsters to be so presumptuous? In such a big event of the clan. Longchen waved his hand, signaling everyone not to get excited. It's okay. Everything is within my expectations. I will go with them. Longchen, no, this must be a trap. Luo Ying said anxiously. Shut up. Do you have the right to speak here? Get out of here. The elder seemed a little impatient and shouted sternly, and at the same time waved his hand. A strong wind was stirred, and Luo Ying was pushed far away by the strong wind. Luo Ying suffered a loss. Luo Yanfeng and others were furious, and they put their hands on their weapons. Seeing this, the elder was about to scold, but suddenly felt his soul tremble, and a pair of eyes like sharp blades stared at him. At that moment he felt cold all over, and his hair stood on end. He saw Longchen looking at him coldly. Do you want to die? If you want to die, I will grant your wish now. You! The elder was shocked and angry. He wanted to say something, but found that his voice was trembling, and he couldn't say anything. The strong threat of death made him tremble uncontrollably. The other elder's face also changed. The moment Longchen's murderous intent filled him, he seemed to be stared at by a prehistoric beast. Seeing that the elder didn't dare to say anything, Longchen looked at Luo Yanfeng and others and said, You go back and rest first. Wait for me to come back. Remember that. You know? Longchen meant to remember not to show your strength in front of others unless it is absolutely necessary. Longchen has told them this more than once. After saying this, Longchen turned and left. The two elders followed Longchen with gloomy faces. According to Longchen's instructions, we go back to rest and quickly recover our physical strength. When he comes back, we will study the matter of exchanging rewards. Luo Yanfeng said. Everyone nodded. Although they were a little worried about Longchen with the Luo family around, the Bai family couldn't do anything to Longchen. At most, they could make him feel a little angry. They didn't have any handle in the hands of the other party. The Purple Blood Hall was still the same Purple Blood Hall, but there were more people today. Last time there were 60 or 70 people, but this time there were hundreds of people, all of whom were Purple Crown Divine Emperor level beings. The atmosphere in the hall was more tense than last time. When Longchen walked into the hall, countless pairs of eyes like sharp swords looked at him at the same time. These people were all from the Bai family. They looked at Longchen at this time, gritting their teeth, as if they wanted to eat Longchen alive. Longchen saw Luo Zichuan in the crowd of Luo family, and nodded to him slightly. Luo Zichuan's meaning was very clear. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Longchen smiled, not to mention that you are here. Even if you are not here, I don't have to be afraid. When Longchen walked into the hall and passed by the Bai family masters, they saw that Longchen was smiling. Thinking of those disciples who died tragically, an elder of the Bai family couldn't help but curse. You little beast, you dare! Pa! A loud slap echoed throughout the hall. The Bai family elder who cursed was slapped away by Longchen. Bang! The elder hit the stone pillar of the hall hard. Longchen's slap was very powerful. The elder was flattened and blood stained the stone pillar red. Squeaky! The elder's body slowly slid down the stone pillar, making a tooth-grinding friction sound. Many people shuddered. You curse as soon as you open your mouth. Your parents didn't teach you etiquette. I'll teach you. Longchen's cold voice echoed in the hall. Longchen's slap was too fast, too accurate, and too cruel. No one reacted. Even the old patriarch couldn't help but shrink his pupils. This blow made him feel dizzy and everything was over. Although he saw that Longchen's strength was extraordinary last time, he didn't expect it to be so quick and cruel. The whole audience was shocked, and the Bai family's strong men were shocked and angry. Longchen's slap was equivalent to slapping the entire Bai family in the face. Longchen slapped the elder of the Bai family and sent him flying. The elders of the Bai family hurried forward to check. As a result, they found that half of the elder's face was sunken in and his whole body was flattened. It was very tragic. Although he did not die, his bones and tendons were broken and his internal organs were shattered. Master Patriarch, do you have something to ask me? But Long Chun walked directly to the center of the hall as if nothing had happened, looked at the old patriarch, and said neither servilely nor arrogantly. The old patriarch looked at Long Chun, still smiling, as if nothing in the world would make him angry. Even when facing Long Chun's impolite questioning, he was not angry. Indeed, there is something. The old patriarch nodded. He was about to continue speaking, when suddenly the middle-aged man of the Bai family with a fair complexion interrupted with a gloomy face. Luo Zichuan, your grandson is so arrogant and disrespectful to the elders. Shouldn't you say something? This fair-skinned man was the one who said that Long Chun was abominable last time. He was also the current patriarch of the Bai family, Bai Ingxiong. Bai Ingxiong interrupted the old patriarch, but the old patriarch still looked kind and unconcerned. Instead, he looked at Luo Zichuan. At this time, the elders of the Luo family were almost all led by Luo Zichuan, and Luo Yingchen was already standing behind Luo Zichuan. So Bai Ingxiong directly attacked Luo Zichuan. Luo Zichuan looked at Long Chun, and after a pause, he said, Chunner's slap was like an antelope hanging on a horn, leaving no trace. Whether it was from the speed, strength, or angle, it was impeccable and perfect. Did I ask you to say that? Bai Ingxiong said angrily. There's nothing else to say. Luo Zichuan shook his head. Long Chun almost laughed out loud. He didn't expect that his grandfather, who had always been old-fashioned, would actually have such a cold sense of humor. Seeing Bai Ingxiong was furious, Long Chun was immediately secretly happy. Master Bai, is your face now the hideous face in the legend? Long Chun didn't forget to add a knife. You are courting death, kid. Bai Ingxiong was furious. Suddenly, his purple crown emerged, and a purple battle armor appeared under the crown. At that moment, a violent pressure suddenly pressed down on Long Chun. At that moment, Long Chun suddenly felt suffocated. It was the first time that Long Chun encountered such a terrifying pressure. The power could almost crush Long Chun in an instant. Long Chun almost summoned the Chenkuan Ding at the first time. Buzz! However, at this moment an equally strong force resisted the pressure. At the same time, the whole hall shook. Bai Ingxiong, if you are willing to fight to the death, I, Luo Zichuan, will accompany you to the end. Luo Zichuan's cold voice came, and it was Luo Zichuan who took action. The divine power released by Luo Zichuan and Bai Ingxiong shook the entire hall. The violent pressure swept the whole place. Countless people were suppressed and their faces turned pale, with horror in their eyes. Luo Zichuan, an early stage of the Divine Emperor, can actually fight against Bai Ingxiong, a middle stage of the Divine Emperor? For a moment the whole audience was shocked. Bai Ingxiong was the peerless genius of the Bai family, and one of the few middle-stage Divine Emperor powerhouses in the entire Purple Blood clan. And for countless years, no one in the Luo family has entered the middle stage of the Divine Emperor, so they have been suppressed by the Bai family. Now Luo Zichuan can actually fight against them. Seeing the divine light flowing on the two people, everyone was shocked. Bai Ingxiong's aura was larger, while Luo Zichuan's aura was more condensed. One was strong in quantity, and the other was strong in quality. At that moment, the auras of the two kept colliding, and no one could suppress the other. And Luo Zichuan's words were equivalent to launching a life-and-death battle with Bai Ingxiong. Obviously, Bai Ingxiong's killing of Long Chun completely angered Luo Zichuan. He could no longer remain calm and had the intention to kill Bai Ingxiong. Ha! Suddenly, the old patriarch waved his hand, and Long Chun immediately felt a gentle force coming. Luo Zichuan and Bai Ingxiong shook at the same time and took a half-step back. Long Chun was shocked. This old patriarch who looked kind and amiable was so powerful. With a wave of his hand, he silently dissolved the power of the two. Okay. Don't be so angry, let's talk it out. The old patriarch laughed, then looked at Long Chun and said, Long Chun, I heard that you watched someone die on the battlefield without saving him. Is that true? Who told you that? Long Chun asked directly. I want to see who is so shameless. He obviously came to us with bad intentions, but ended up being surrounded by the demons. He also asked us to risk our lives to save them. How shameless must he be to say such a thing? Long Chun sneered, and his eyes swept over the elders of the Bai family. He saw the elder who appeared on the battlefield at a glance. The elder's face was gloomy at this time, but he did not respond, because he was not good at speaking. Anyway, he had said what he should say, so there was no need to narrate it again, so as not to be caught by others. Just tell me, is this true? Bai Yingxiong said coldly. Fuck the fact. Let me ask you, does each team need to turn on the perception nameplate when entering the battlefield? Does each team automatically separate a certain distance when it is teleported to the battlefield? What does it mean that you, the disciples of the Bai family, turned off the perception nameplate and quietly touched my side? Long Chin sneered. That's because their perception nameplate is invalid. Bai Yingxiong said angrily. Long Chen's eyes widened and said, Fuck. How can you say such a shameless reason? Okay, it's more shameless, right? Well, the reason why we didn't go to rescue is because we suddenly had diarrhea, people were uncomfortable, and we were unable to rescue. Is this reason okay? Nonsense. How could so many people have diarrhea collectively? Bai Yingxiong shouted. Nonsense. How can such an important thing as the perception nameplate suddenly become invalid? Long Chin sneered. Long Chun confronted Bai Yingxiong, and the others were speechless. Bai Yingxiong's reasons were already blunt enough, and Long Chun simply started to talk nonsense. But that's right, since you can talk nonsense, I can also talk nonsense. Everyone knows the truth, so let's see who is more shameless. The elders of the Luo family couldn't help but secretly feel happy when they saw Long Chen's sharp words, which hit the nail on the head. After being targeted by the Bai family for so many years, they finally got rid of their anger. Especially seeing Bai Yingxiong, who was always arrogant, was so angry that his hair stood on end. Everyone felt so happy. At the beginning, they were crushed by the Bai family. One was that there was no opponent who could compete with Bai Yingxiong, and the other was that the Luo family was not good at sophistry, so they always suffered losses. Now Luo Zichuan, with the strength of the early stage of the Divine Emperor, can fight against Bai Yingxiong, who is in the middle stage of the Divine Emperor, and Long Chun is even more eloquent, forcing the Bai family to be embarrassed. Old Patriarch, Long Chun, this kid, has no respect for his elders and speaks vulgarly. I suggest you slap him in the mouth first, and then talk about today's matter. Bai Yingxiong was so angry that he trembled all over and looked at the old patriarch. Long Chun also said to the old patriarch, Old Patriarch, Bai Yingxiong, this old lamp, is arrogant and domineering, and spews shit. I suggest you pull out his teeth first, then sew his mouth shut, and then talk about today's matter. Long Chun clasped his fists to the old patriarch and said with a serious face. When Long Chun said this, the old patriarch almost laughed out loud. Long Chun imitated Bai Yingxiong's tone twice, and his serious expression was really funny. Many people had already lowered their heads, fearing that others would see them holding back their laughter. But the old patriarch still had to keep a smile on his face instead of laughing out loud, which was a bit difficult for him. You! Bai Yingxiong pointed at Long Chun. His finger was about to poke Long Chen's face, and he was about to curse. Ha! The moment Bai Yingxiong pointed at Long Chun, Long Chen's face changed drastically, and he roared, Old Deng, do you want to kill me? Pa! Long Chun casually slapped him. Bai Yingxiong was shocked and dodged, but he was still half a step slower and was slapped in the face by Long Chun. The crisp sound resounded throughout the hall. When people looked at Bai Yingxiong, they saw 5 clear bloody handprints on his face. When Bai Yingxiong turned his face, his eyes were blood red and almost burning. Grandpa, save me. This old man wants to kill me. He just used the power of his soul with one finger and almost killed my soul. Long Chun looked horrified and hid behind Luo Zichuan. He pointed at Bai Yingxiong and cursed from behind Luo Zichuan. Bai Yingxiong, you are the head of the Bai family and a mid-level divine emperor. You actually killed a descendant of the heavenly saint realm. Your meanness has tarnished the noble bloodline of the purple blood lineage. You insulted my Luo family and bullied my grandson. Today I, Luo Zichuan, challenge you to a life and death battle. Luo Zichuan shouted and threw his nameplate into the air. His eyes were as sharp as a knife, staring at Bai Yingxiong. In fact, how could Luo Zichuan not know that Long Chun was acting? Most people knew that Long Chen was acting. But Bai Yingxiong's finger was almost on Long Chen's face. At such a close distance, if he really wanted to kill Long Chen would definitely die. Therefore, Long Chen's counterattack was impeccable. Regardless of whether Bai Yingxiong intended to kill Long Chen or not, this action was like smearing mud on his crotch. It was shit. In other words, not only did he receive this slap in vain, but he also had to face Luo Zichuan's death challenge. At that moment, Bai Yingxiong was completely furious. Since you want to die, I, Bai Yingxiong, will fulfill your wish. Bai Yingxiong roared and took out the nameplate and threw it into the empty space. If the two nameplates merged, the two would be teleported to the death space, and only one person could come out of the death space. That moment, the hearts of countless people were suspended in an instant. Pa! The moment the two nameplates were about to touch, the power suddenly disappeared, and they fell from the air and landed on the ground with a crisp sound. At this moment, everyone's hanging hearts finally let go. Whether it was the Bai family or the Luo family, they were extremely nervous at that moment. Luo Zichuan's strength made the Bai family feel unsure, and Bai Yingxiong's shadow on the Luo family was huge. They were afraid that Luo Zichuan would die in his hands, and the Luo family saw some hope. If it was shattered like this, it would be too despairing. Why are young people so angry? Everyone has something to say. Why do you have to fight? Besides, I am still here, an old man. Can't you give me some face? The old patriarch said earnestly. It was he who took action just now to stop this decisive battle. As the patriarch, he would not allow such a thing to happen, especially at this juncture. Patriarch, I'm sorry, Zichuan was reckless. Hearing the old patriarch say so, Luo Zichuan saluted slightly. It's normal for a grandfather to have emotional fluctuations when his grandson is in trouble, the old patriarch said indifferently. You. When the old patriarch said this, Bai Yingxiong was immediately furious. The old patriarch's words were equivalent to confirming the fact that he had murdered Long Chen. The key is that if he really wanted to kill Long Chen, it would be fine. The main thing is that he was wronged. Bai Yingxiong said angrily, Patriarch, aren't you biased? It's obviously. The old patriarch shook his head and said, What you see may not be the truth, but my old eyes are blurry, and I can only believe what I see. Well, you can't stand being wronged once. You know, the Luo family has never complained about anything for so many years. When the old patriarch said this, everyone's heart trembled. It felt that the old patriarch knew everything. In the previous fight between the two families, the old patriarch had been making trouble. The Luo family suffered a lot and could only swallow their anger. And this time, Long Chen slapped Bai Yingxiong hard. The old patriarch seemed to be biased towards the Luo family. Yingxiong is not convinced by the clan leader's handling of the matter, Bai Yingxiong said angrily. The old clan leader looked at Bai Yingxiong, and the smile on his face gradually disappeared. At that moment, the strong men present were shocked, as if they had never seen the old clan leader serious since the day they met him. The old clan leader looked at Bai Yingxiong and said seriously, As the head of a family, don't you understand the truth that prosperity will decline and things will turn around? Now the purple blood lineage is facing a huge challenge, and you still can't see the situation clearly. You will lead the Bai family to destruction. After saying this, the old clan leader suddenly laughed and said, Okay, this matter is over, and a dispute has been perfectly resolved. Dismissal. The old clan leader's face changed too quickly. The serious look just now seemed to be possessed by something. When the meeting was adjourned, the old clan leader disappeared immediately, leaving everyone confused. Luo Zichuan, you wait for me, Bai Yingxiong said with a gloomy face, looking at Luo Zichuan. Luo Zichuan did not reply, but Long Chun stuck his head out and smiled. Okay, we'll wait. After the left cheek is hit, we'll wait for you to bring the right cheek up. You! Bai Yingxiong was so angry that he almost ran away on the spot. This kid was too mean. The handprint on Bai Yingxiong's face had not disappeared yet, and Long Chun immediately exposed his scar again, fearing that he would forget about it. In the end, Bai Yingxiong left under the persuasion of the elders of the Bai family. The other elders also saw different signs. The Luo family seemed to be really rising. The older generation had Luo Zichuan, and the team of Luo Yanfeng, a disciple of the Luo family, performed well and killed countless powerful demons. These disciples will receive more rewards and become stronger and stronger. If this continues, the strength of the disciples will be pulled apart, and it will be difficult to catch up later. Now the disciples who can advance to the heavenly saint have all completed the advancement. The rest may not have time to grow up. Even if they grow up later, they will miss this opportunity. For a time, all the major families began to worry. Although the old patriarch was smiling all day, he was never vague about major events. This fight between the purple blood and the demon clan was definitely not as simple as it seemed. If things went wrong, the entire purple blood lineage would face major changes. After returning to the Luo family, Luo Yingchun summoned a group of senior executives, including Long Chun, to hold a meeting to study how to face the Bai family, which was completely enraged and had become hostile to each other. Long Chun said that there was nothing to worry about and that he could just leave it to him. As he spoke, he pulled his grandfather away. When there were only 2 people left, Long Chun took out the heavenly Dao fruit and looked at his grandfather and said, "This thing cannot be seen in the light." When Luo Zichuan saw the heavenly Dao fruit, although a touch of shock appeared in his eyes, he had already prepared himself mentally. Long Chun had helped Luo Bing, Luo Ning and countless other members of the Luo family to transform their bodies. He also knew the power of this fruit, but he did not expect that at this level, Long Chun would have such a heaven-defying method. Luo Zichuan was silent for a long time and said, "I will go to the old patriarch to see if he can open a back door for me. If not, what if he doesn't open it?" Long Chun asked. "I will take the Luo family and leave the purple blood clan." Luo Zichuan took a deep breath. His responsibility was limited to the Luo family. He had no feelings for other families in the purple blood clan, and he had no obligation to help them. Long Chun nodded and said, "If they really don't agree, please try to delay the time for me so that I can collect more of these fruits." Luo Zichuan's heart was shocked. He suddenly understood something and his heart was beating wildly. He looked at Long Chun and Long Chun also looked at him. The grandfather and grandson didn't speak for a long time. Later, Luo Zichuan reached out, patted Long Chun on the shoulder, and left directly. Long Chun looked at Luo Zichuan's back as he left. He was also a little worried. This secret was amazing and it would be very dangerous if it was exposed. However, since his grandfather had made a decision, he didn't say anything and went directly to find Luo Yanfeng and others. In a mysterious hall, Luo Zichuan looked at the old patriarch with a serious face. The old patriarch looked at Luo Zichuan and murmured, "Does the purple blood clan allow disciples to keep secrets?" The old patriarch looked at Luo Zichuan for a long time, and finally said, "If it is your secret, I allow it. I believe in your loyalty to the purple blood clan." "Thank you, patriarch." Hearing the words of the old patriarch, Luo Zichuan was immediately ecstatic. He really did not make a mistake. The old patriarch's wisdom was indeed beyond the reach of ordinary people. "Don't thank me in a hurry. If it is Long Chen's secret, I need to keep some opinions," the old patriarch said. "Why is that?" Luo Zichuan was shocked. "Your grandson has committed too many sins of killing. Looking at him, I always feel a little uneasy deep in my heart. This child is too dangerous," the old patriarch said with a serious face. "I can guarantee with my life that Long Chun will definitely," Luo Zichuan said, but he couldn't continue halfway through. "Will he be loyal to the purple blood clan or the Luo family?" "He will only be loyal to his ideas." The old patriarch looked at Luo Zichuan and said. Luo Zichuan was speechless. It was only then that he realized that Long Chen's loyalty must be relative, that is, if you are good to me, I will be good to you. He will not be loyal to a certain group, he will only be loyal to a certain person, such as parents, brothers, and beauties. Not to mention the Purple Blood Clan, even if it is the descendants of his lineage, if they provoke this guy Long Chen, he will not hesitate to raise the butcher knife. Neither you nor I can make the decision on this matter, let the ancestors decide, said the old patriarch. You mean? The old patriarch smiled slightly. You will know soon. Long Chen, you're back. When they saw Long Chen come back intact, Luo Yanfeng and others, who were like ants on a hot pot, were surprised and happy. They had not been with Long Chen for a long time, but Long Chen had already become the backbone of the group. Without Long Chen, everyone felt anxious and at a loss. Now that Long Chen was back, everyone's hearts instantly fell to the ground. Seeing everyone's worried and nervous appearance, Long Chen's heart was also a little warm. Only when he was with them, Long Chen could feel the warmth of the family. Let's go and exchange the rewards. Long Chen, whatever you want, just tell us. More than 1 million killing points, you can't spend them all. Luo Jiang shouted excitedly. The captain-level strongmen all had killing points of more than 1 million, and even the deputy captain was not much different. Can be said that everyone made a lot of money this time. However, because Long Chen was always in command, he occasionally killed some demon clan strongmen to rescue people in danger, so his killing points were not much. Although Long Chen also needed killing points, he also wanted to exchange more treasures of the Luo family. But compared to treasures, how to make Luo Yanfeng and others become stronger quickly was more important. However, when they arrived at the exchange point, after everyone showed their nameplates, a special person led the way and took Long Chen, Luo Yanfeng, and a group of captains and vice-captains into another hall. Long Chen and others were stunned, and the elder who led them into the hall told them that their killing points had exceeded 1 million, and they had the opportunity to receive a totem blessing. Long Chen then discovered that in the center of the hall, there was a pillar with mountains, rivers, Gobi deserts, and flowing divine light carved on it, as if it was a strange world. That is the totem pillar of our Purple Blood Clan. You have a quarter of an hour to accept the blessing of the totem pillar. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Remember to cherish it. After the elder finished speaking, his figure disappeared. Everyone was stunned and had no idea what the elder meant, because it was the first time they heard of totem blessings, and they didn't even know that the Purple Blood Clan had their own totems. Buzz! Suddenly the totem pillar lit up, and the divine light enveloped the entire hall. Everyone, including Long Chen, trembled, and the purple blood in their bodies instantly boiled. Plop! Plop! What surprised Long Chen was that Luo Yanfeng and others fell to the ground one after another, with smiles on their faces, sleeping like babies. Long Chen looked at them, and he found that the blood runes in their bodies became extremely active. Each rune seemed to be fissioning. That scene reminded Long Chen of the changes in the dragon blood runes in his body when he practiced the dragon god body refining technique. Is this blessing a kind of awakening power? Long Chen was stunned. However, although the purple blood runes in Long Chen's body were boiling, the blessing power seemed to be hesitant and could not enter Long Chen's body. Long Chen didn't care about these. He slowly walked to the front of the totem pillar, looking at the totem pillar, and his mind was instantly attracted by the scene on the totem pillar. Buzz! Suddenly, the scene around Long Chen changed. He appeared in a desert. The desert was exactly what Long Chen saw on the totem pole just now. He actually entered the totem pole. Long Chen did not panic. He bent down slightly and grabbed the soft sand under his feet. The sky was purple, and even the sand was purple. As Long Chen opened his hands, the purple sand slowly slipped through his fingers. The divine light was dazzling. Looking closely, it seemed like a purple galaxy was falling. Long Chen was stunned. When the sand fell, Long Chen grabbed a handful again and continued to sprinkle it. Watching the sand slipping between his fingers, for some reason, Long Chen actually thought of the Sea of Stars, as if he had been inspired by something. Is it fun? At this moment, figures emerged one by one. Among these figures there were men and women, most of whom were middle-aged. When they appeared, a solemn and murderous aura spread, and a desert would also make people feel sacred and solemn. The leader was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s. He had slanted eyebrows, a straight nose and a square mouth. He was serious and had an innate nobility and coldness. Although he was standing in front of him, he felt like he was being looked down upon. The person who had just spoken was this person. Long Chen's eyes swept over the crowd, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. "It's fun. Why don't you try it too? How dare you?" Seeing the ancestor with a playful look, "How can you be so disrespectful?" The man shouted coldly. His eyes were like lightning, carrying the pressure of a superior. With a loud shout, the whole world was shaking, and the momentum was terrifying. Huff! Seeing the man talking like this, Long Chun simply stopped looking at him, squatted on the ground, and started playing with sand. "You!" The man was so angry when he saw Long Chen's appearance that his sword eyebrows were raised. "Thank you for your hard work." Long Chun suddenly changed his tone. "What do you mean?" The middle-aged man was stunned. "You fought for the family when you were alive, and you still have to protect the family after death. You gave up the path of reincarnation and have no afterlife. You are great. This is something I can't do." Long Chun put down the sand in his hand, slowly stood up, and looked at the ancestors in front of him. "Don't think that we will forgive your disrespectful behavior if you say something nice." The middle-aged man snorted coldly. "Disrespect? Forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with you." "What's the matter with bringing me here?" Long Chun asked. The middle-aged man frowned immediately. The disciples who were summoned here would kneel on the ground when they saw them, respectful and afraid of saying the wrong thing. But this guy was so arrogant. "You know, you only have a part of my bloodline in you. If you can't pass our assessment, you will not be recognized by the Purple Blood Clan and will be expelled from the Purple Blood Clan," the middle-aged man said in a deep voice. "Assessment? Why should I pass your assessment?" Long Chen asked back. "You." As a result, Long Chen's question stunned everyone. Long Chen said lightly, "I came to the Purple Blood Clan to find out about my mother. Now I stay in the Purple Blood Clan because I promised my grandfather to help the Purple Blood Clan do something. I have never thought of hugging the thighs of your Purple Blood Clan. After all, the legs of the Purple Blood Clan are too thick. I have thin arms and legs, so forget it." "You don't mean to join my Purple Blood Clan?" The middle-aged man looked at Long Chun and fell into deep thought. Is there something strange about this? If he has no intention of joining my Purple Blood Clan, why did he invite us out? A middle-aged woman asked doubtfully. "No matter. Since we are here, let's start directly," the middle-aged man said. Suddenly, that person formed seals with both hands, and at the same moment, the others also formed seals with both hands. Boom, boom. Suddenly, the void around Long Chun exploded, and endless purple chains shot towards Long Chun. The purple chain was so fast that it bound Long Chun instantly as soon as it appeared. "What are you doing?" Long Chun was furious. He struggled frantically, but found that in this world, he could not exert any strength at all. "It's useless to struggle. Since you have the blood of my Purple Blood Clan, you are destined to be here. You are a lamb to be slaughtered," a man said with a gloomy face. "Say that again. What's wrong with you killing him?" one of the women said unhappily. As a result, as soon as the woman spoke, the man who frightened Long Chun was speechless. "This kid is too rude. Can't I scare him? This kid has such a strong murderous aura on him. Can you scare him with this expression? Don't waste time, hurry up and work. The juniors must have sent this kid in for a reason," the woman said unhappily. Buzz! Suddenly, purple flames rose around Long Chun. At that moment, the scorching heat burned his soul, and Long Chun suddenly felt a sharp pain in his soul. "What are you doing, you old lights?" Long Chun cursed. "Old dang." Everyone was stunned, not knowing what this meant, but looking at Long Chun's expression, they knew it was not a good thing. Ah! Long Chun suddenly roared, and black runes spread all over his body. The black runes were ghostly and creepy. Sure enough, it's the mark of the Ghost Emperor, everyone exclaimed. How did you get the mark of the Ghost Emperor, you bastard? One of them shouted. Don't worry about it. Stop it. Long Chun shouted. This kid is crazy, the mark of the Ghost Emperor is on you, and you will become its slave sooner or later. Don't be afraid, we will help you get rid of it. The leading man comforted Long Chun at this time. Don't be afraid of your sister. I'll keep this thing for a great use. Long Chun roared. What crazy nonsense are you talking about? This thing will kill you. Besides, how can a disciple of my purple blood lineage have the mark of the Ghost Emperor? This is a shame for our purple blood lineage. The leading man said angrily. Hey, stop messing around. This is really useful. Seeing that person was about to make a move, Long Chun screamed. Long Chun was infected with this Ghost Emperor mark on the ghost ship. At that time, Long Chun was weak and had no feeling at all, so he was planted. Later, when Long Chun was advancing, part of his blood and soul power was secretly taken away. It was all because of this Ghost Emperor mark. The Chaos Dragon Emperor told Long Chun not to pay attention to it, and said that if you plant a seed in spring, you will harvest 10,000 dan of grain in autumn. At that time, Long Chun didn't understand what it meant, but as Long Chun's cultivation gradually improved, Long Chun gradually understood the intention of the Chaos Dragon Emperor. The Ghost Emperor mark on his body is a bond. If the Ghost Emperor mark is removed, the blood and soul he lost can never be found again. Seeing that everyone was kind enough to help him remove the Ghost Emperor's mark, Long Chun was so scared that his face turned green, and he shouted, Don't be kind-hearted. This Ghost Emperor's mark is really useful to me. It is related to a huge investment of mine. However, it was useless for Long Chun to shout at the top of his lungs. These people didn't believe Long Chun's nonsense at all, and thought that he was corrupted by the Ghost Emperor's will and had gone stupid. Don't talk nonsense to him. It will be too late if we don't save him now. Seeing that Long Chun's face was ferocious and he seemed to be going crazy, they thought that it was not Long Chun who was struggling at this time, but the will of the Ghost Emperor's mark. Long Chun was shocked and angry, but this space was very strange. Long Chun couldn't use his great ability. Even the perception of Chen Ding and Longu Shewe was stripped away. Just as everyone was working together to strip the Ghost Emperor's mark, a noble and sacred will suddenly emerged. Boom! Suddenly, the chains that bound Long Chun burst into pieces. At that moment, everyone looked at Long Chun in a daze. This is... Plop! Plop! These ancestors of the Purple Blood Clan actually knelt down slowly in front of Long Chun. Long Chun was originally furious, but the sudden change at this time made Long Chun dumbfounded. At this time, the sacred will slowly dissipated, and the whole world gradually returned to its original appearance. That, although you are wrong first, you are the ancestors of the Purple Blood Clan after all. If you do this, I will be very embarrassed. Long Chun looked at everyone and said awkwardly. Just now, he was busy with anger and didn't know what happened. He only knew that when he struggled desperately, an invisible force burst out and shattered the chains. He thought that the Chaos Pearl sensed his danger and helped him. Everyone slowly stood up, and when they looked at Long Chun again, there was endless awe in their eyes. Since you insist on keeping the Ghost Emperor's mark, then it's up to you. But I have to remind you that the Ghost Emperor's mark will erode your will and nourish your inner demons as your strength increases. You must be careful, the middle-aged man in the lead said. Long Chun nodded and said, Junior understands and will be careful. At this time, Long Chun also put away his previous arrogance. On the one hand, it was because they were really kind to him. On the other hand, they put away their condescending attitude, so Long Chun naturally couldn't be arrogant anymore. Buzz! Suddenly, the world in front of Long Chun changed, and his mind withdrew from the totem pole, while Luo Yanfeng and others were still sleeping. Long Chun looked at the totem pole and couldn't speak for a long time. Why did the ancestor of the purple blood lineage suddenly pay such a big tribute to him, and the object of the tribute didn't seem to be him? Seeing that Luo Yanfeng and others were still sleeping in the divine light of the totem pole, their bloodline power seemed to have entered a dormant state. Seeing that there was nothing for him to do, Long Chun left the totem hall first. As soon as Long Chun left, the figure of the old patriarch appeared in the hall. He came to the front of the totem pillar and bowed respectfully to it, and then he appeared in the totem space. Meet the ancestors. After entering the space, the old patriarch knelt down respectfully. These are the heroes worshipped by the Purple Blood Clan. They have paid too much for the Purple Blood Clan. This respect comes from the depths of the soul. Get up. The middle-aged man in the lead personally helped the old patriarch up and said, "What is your purpose in sending him in? Now our lineage is facing a critical moment of choice and sacrifice, and Long Chun is the key among the keys. I feel a strong murderous intent and evil aura in him, but there is some power in him that blocks my detection. I can't decide whether I can trust him. After all, this matter is related to the rise and fall of our lineage, honor and disgrace. I can only trouble the ancestors." The old patriarch said, "He is trustworthy. There is no doubt about that. But I want to remind you that he cannot be controlled." After the middle-aged man finished speaking, his figure disappeared. The old patriarch was also ejected from the totem space. Looking at the totem pillar, a look of confusion emerged in his eyes, and he muttered to himself, "Uncontrollable? What kind of instruction is this?" Long Chun returned to the Luo family and was about to continue researching the 8-star battle body when Luo Zichuan arrived. "It's settled," Luo Zichuan said as soon as he arrived, and Long Chun was very excited. "Really?" Long Chun had an unbelievable look on his face. "Really, the clan leader gave me the authority, and I can use all the resources in the clan. But the clan leader hinted that everything should not be done openly." Luo Zichuan laughed. "Hehe, why does he need to hint at this? This kind of thing is not allowed to be seen in the light." Long Chun smiled and took out all the heavenly Dao fruits. When Luo Zichuan saw the strange fruit covered with heavenly vein runes, although he was prepared in his heart, he was still extremely shocked. At his level, he could sense the energy of the heavenly Dao fruit that could take away the heavenly destiny. Eating this fruit could be called changing one's fate against the will of heaven. No wonder Long Chun was so careful. Once this thing was exposed, it would inevitably cause the whole world to be shocked. "Grandpa, please arrange for my uncles to distribute it. I remember that our family cultivated some disciples with good character and talent." Long Chun said. He had used the heavenly Dao fruit on the disciples of the Luo family more than once. "Let me do it myself. This time is different from the last time. There can't be any mistakes." Luo Zichuan was still worried about his two sons, so he took the heavenly Dao fruit away and did it himself. Long Chun nodded secretly. This matter really couldn't be sloppy. If the news leaked out, the Bai family would go crazy instantly. They would never let the Luo family become big. The Luo family has not grown up yet and cannot fight against the Bai family. Even if they can fight, the two sides will inevitably suffer heavy losses in a bloody battle. It is the kingly way to make a fortune in silence. After Luo Zichuan left, Long Chun made seals with his hands, and a divine ring appeared behind him, and the stars flowed. Now, under the guidance of Long Zhantian, Long Chun has reached an extreme control over the power of the stars. In such a small secret room, Long Chun can still summon the sea of stars. As long as he does not enter the combat state, the breath will not leak out. The 8 stars behind Long Chun were circulating, flickering in the sea of stars. As they flickered, the positions of the 8 stars were constantly changing. The 5-pointed star, 6-pointed star, 7-pointed star, and 8-pointed star changed back and forth. When the 5-pointed star appeared, the other 3 stars moved back and forth from the outside to the inside, but could not find a suitable position. The same was true for the 6-pointed star and the 7-pointed star. No matter how they were arranged, there would be flaws in the connection of their power, resulting in the poor operation of the star power. Not only could the power not be increased, but it would weaken itself. Only by dividing the stars into two groups, forming two square figures, and then overlapping to form an eight-pointed star, would the power be increased. However, the structure of the eight-pointed star was unstable, and it was equivalent to a replica of the six-pointed star. When it was six-pointed, the power was unimpeded, but when it was eight-pointed, there seemed to be an invisible force hindering its operation. If the eight-pointed star was forcibly condensed, it would be possible, but the increase would not exceed 1 time, but compared with the several times or even 10 times increase of the improved 5-star, 6-star, and 7-star combat bodies, the difference was obviously huge. 13-star dragons soared in the sea of stars, swimming back and forth with Long Chen's thoughts, changing various forms. Under Long Chen's control, the stars were like surging tides or flowing rivers. Long Chen was calculating the strongest form of the 8-star combat body. However, the amount of calculation was too huge. The change of the position of each star would affect the operation of the entire anomaly. This was a huge project, but there was no way. No matter how huge it was, Long Chen had to calculate until he calculated the perfect form. The most distressing thing was that this was a road with no shortcuts, and he could not use the 7 treasures glazed tree to help. He could only use the most primitive and clumsy method to calculate. After more than an hour, Long Chen felt dizzy and had to stop. Calculating it consumed too much energy. At this time, Luo Yanfeng and others also came out. When Long Chen saw Luo Yanfeng and others, he couldn't help but be shocked. The blood of Luo Yanfeng and others became deeper and more restrained, and the edge hidden in the restraint was more fierce. From their blood, Long Chen felt the divine power that was there and not there, which showed that another kind of power was awakening in their bodies. Long Chen felt a little unbalanced in his heart. Why didn't the totem blessing bless him? After all, he had done so much for the purple blood lineage. But thinking about how they knelt down to him, Long Chen felt that things might not be that simple. If they had benefits, they would definitely give them to him. If they didn't give them, it was either because they had nothing to give or they were not qualified to give them. Long Chen, after receiving the totem blessing, I feel full of strength. How about you? Luo Jiang saw Long Chen and said excitedly. Me too. Long Chen hurriedly changed the subject and said, hurry up and gather people, enter the battlefield again, and try to get other people in the team to receive the totem blessing as soon as possible. We have to widen the gap. Only in this way can the Bai family not threaten us. Yes. Everyone nodded hurriedly when they heard it. Only those who have received the blessing know how precious this opportunity is. Soon the team was gathered in order. Long Chen and others did not even have time to exchange treasures before they stepped onto the battlefield again. After being teleported to the battlefield again, the heavenly Dao tree in the chaotic space trembled slightly, and heavenly Dao fruits were born from time to time. It seems that everyone can't sit still after the totem blessing is turned on. They are also desperately trying to hit the 1,000,000 kill value. Long Chen thought to himself. Obviously, once the totem blessing is turned on, it is no longer a secret. The old generation of strong men of the Purple Blood Clan must know what the totem blessing means, so they sent all the elite disciples out. However, in this way, countless people will die on the battlefield in the melee. This is also what Luo Zichuan said. After the war, I am afraid that more than 90% of the elite disciples will be killed. This is a cruel and bloody elimination match. After this elimination, the elites among the elites will remain. These elites will compete with the elites of the major tribes of the Purple Blood Clan in the future. The winners will enter the Emperor Mountain and become the mainstay of the Purple Blood Clan. Long Chen and others had just run forward for a while when they saw countless disciples of the Purple Blood Clan fighting fiercely with the powerful demons. When these disciples saw Long Chen and others coming, they were suddenly a little nervous, because these disciples were none other than the Bai family. As the saying goes, enemies meet and are particularly jealous. They said they were not afraid, but that was all fake. However, Long Chen ignored them and flew directly from the edge of the battlefield. At the same time, Long Chen glanced at their formation. It was found to be extremely chaotic and there was no order at all. However, this may also be in line with the original intention of this war survival of the fittest. When Long Chun and others continued to go deeper, they encountered several more waves of battles. The two sides fought extremely fiercely. The earth was full of corpses of demons, and the strong men of the Purple Blood Clan were also constantly dying. Here life was like grass. Continuing forward, they could no longer see the Purple Blood Clan's warriors, and right in front of them, there was already a team of Demon Clan warriors, with a strong lineup, staring coldly at Long Chan and the others, like a group of wild beasts waiting for the arrival of prey. This group of Demon Clan warriors was not large, only tens of thousands, but each of them had a monstrous demonic energy and astonishing pressure. The leader was a Demon Clan giant, 10 feet tall, holding a huge mace, his body covered with black runes. His eyes were like the pupils of a crocodile, full of tyranny and blood. Humans, welcome to die. When he saw Long Chan and the others, he grinned, revealing teeth like saw teeth, took a step forward, and rushed towards the crowd like a meteor. Boom, boom. The demon leader ran all the way, and every time he took a step, the ground under his feet trembled. The fierce, murderous aura instantly locked everyone. This is a ruthless character. Feeling the breath of the demon leader, everyone's face changed. This guy with 13 dragon veins was a character who had experienced hundreds of battles and was extremely brave. This was also the only real strong man that Long Chen had seen since he came to the battlefield. Before, Long Chen thought that the demons were the same as the Blood Clan. In order to continue the bloodline, they cultivated the descendants with excellent bloodlines as flowers in a greenhouse. They didn't need to have a strong fighting power, they just needed to pass on their excellent bloodlines, and those bloodlines that were not so good were eliminated in the inheritance. But here Long Chun saw a real master, a master who really killed his way out. If there were no enemies to cultivate such a master, the result would definitely be to step on the corpses of his fellow tribesmen. Brother Yen Feng, that big guy is handed over to you, Long Chen shouted. No problem. Facing the murderous demon leader, Luo Yanfeng was also inspired to fight. His soaring strength made him very eager for a fierce battle to verify his true strength. Luo Yanfeng was waiting for Long Chen's order. As long as Long Chen gave the order, he could leave the team and fight alone. No need for formation blessing, no need for tricks. Use the hard to break the hard, use the hard to fight. Who are the warriors of the Purple Blood Clan afraid of? Brothers and sisters, the opponent is the elite of the Demon Clan. All of them are ruthless. And we fight the elites and deal with the ruthless. Kill! Long Chen shouted loudly. Kill! The disciples of the Luo family burst into a thunderous roar. Under Long Chen's training, these disciples of the Luo family were like hungry wolves. When they saw the enemy, their eyes were red. The disciples of the Luo family drew their weapons and their blood was burning. At this time, they were no longer rookies. They had accumulated a certain amount of combat experience and knew what kind of enemies they would encounter and what kind of strength they would show. Boom! At this time, Luo Yanfeng and the leader of the Demon Clan fought together. The broadsword and the mace collided. The purple blood and black demonic energy were stimulated, and instantly covered the entire battlefield. The two men groaned at the same time and were blown away by the power of the other party. So strong! Luo Yanfeng and the leader of the Demon Clan shrank their pupils at the same time. They were shocked by the power of the other party and their blood was surging, and they almost spurted out a mouthful of blood. However, this blow made the eyes of the two men more fanatical. When they met such a powerful opponent, the two men's fighting spirit burned, and they roared at the same time and killed each other again. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Luo Yanfeng and the leader of the Demon Clan were fighting wildly, Luo Ying, Luo Jiang and others led the disciples of the Luo family to face the enemy that was almost 10 times their own. They rushed over and the swords flashed. As soon as they came into contact, blood and flesh flew everywhere. When seeing the fierce battle of the disciples of the Luo family, who were not afraid of death, Long Chun couldn't help but feel a touch of pride in his heart. the disciples of the Luo family went from a pile of scattered sand to a group of mad wolves. In just a few battles they completed the transformation, and most of it was his credit. The potential shown by the Purple Blood clan is amazing. Every battle will significantly improve their strength. Long Chun now understands why the Purple Blood is one of the strongest bloodlines of the human race. Kill! The Luo family's warriors showed their fierce fighting power at this time. Even when facing the elites of the Demon Clan, their moves were still fierce and ruthless. Facing enemies 10 times their number, their performance was still outstanding. Long Chun secretly admired that the warriors of the Luo family had gradually adapted to the rhythm of the battlefield. What they needed was to fight and use the battlefield as a whetstone to make themselves more fierce and fierce, shining brightly. Long Chun held a spear in his hand, ready to respond to the Luo family disciples who were in danger at any time. But Long Chun found that the Luo family disciples had completely adapted to the battlefield and showed amazing adaptability. They were in danger countless times, and they were able to get out of trouble by themselves, and they almost didn't need Long Chun's support. Standing in the void, watching the fierce, bloody battle in front of him, Long Chun couldn't help but get excited. If he was given enough time, he could build the warriors of the Purple Blood clan into a team second only to the Dragon Blood Legion. Long Chun suddenly immersed his mind in the chaotic space. The heavenly Dao fruits on the heavenly Dao tree kept growing and falling. Tens of thousands of heavenly Dao fruits had already piled up on the ground. This shows that on this battlefield, countless disciples of the Purple Blood clan were fighting crazily with the Demon clan, and the speed of death was too fast. Most of these heavenly Dao fruits are 9 veins heavenly Dao fruits, which also means that 9 veins heavenly saints are the main force. Occasionally, some 13 veins heavenly saints are killed, but the number is not large. It can be seen that this is also expected by the Purple Blood clan. After experiencing the baptism of a great war, those who survived are elites, and then through the exchange of killing points, the best resources are provided to these elites, making them stronger. This is a very cruel but understandable selection method, and no one can complain about unfairness. Some people have good talents, but they will still be killed on the battlefield. Some people have average cultivation talents, but amazing combat talents. They can also exchange for treasures through killing points to make up for their shortcomings and become real strong men. Boom, boom, boom. Luo Yanfeng and the leader of the Demon clan fought fiercely. The two attacked with great force and won by force. At this time, their hands were full of blood, and the tiger's mouth was cracked by the shock. Boom! There was another explosion, and the weapons of the two could no longer be held and flew out in an instant. Without weapons, the two roared at the same time, waving their fists and rushing towards each other. Seeing that the two were evenly matched, Long Chun couldn't help but sigh inwardly that after this battle, Luo Yanfeng's strength would soar again. Because Long Chun sensed that the purple blood in Luo Yanfeng's body was quietly transforming under the stimulation of the Demon Clan strongman, and Luo Yanfeng's persistence in victory made his will more determined. If the two could tie this time, the next time they met, whether the Demon Clan leader could support 100 moves in his hands was a question. This was the horror of purple blood. However, Long Chun was not envious because he also had purple blood, and his purple blood power was stronger. Now he has condensed 13 dragon veins, and the power of purple blood has changed from the original gurgling water to the vast ocean. While commanding everyone to fight, Long Chun observed the changes in their purple blood, so as to have a more comprehensive understanding of purple blood, which was of great help to him. This was 100 times stronger than his own closed door and secret exploration. After several battles, Long Chun had benefited a lot and had a deeper understanding of the magic skills of the purple blood lineage. Lang Qing, you are a fool. You can't even deal with such a small number of people. This group of humans belongs to us. At this moment, a cold shout was heard, and countless figures emerged. It turned out to be another elite team of demons who came here after hearing the sound. Boom, boom. Tens of thousands of Demon Clan warriors came roaring, and the leader, holding a bone steel fork, with a single horn on his head and a ferocious smile on his face, led the Demon Clan warriors to rush forward in an instant. The demon clan leader who was fighting fiercely with Luo Yanfeng was immediately furious. Shui-yin, this is not your territory. You came here to rob people. Aren't you afraid of being punished? The demon clan leader called Shui-yin laughed and said, Why should I be punished? As long as we kill you all, we can say that it was the human race who killed you all, and we came here so it won't be considered a violation. At this time on the battlefield, the disciples of the Luo family were fighting frantically, and the demon clan warriors were getting fewer and fewer. The disciples of the Luo family had already dominated the battlefield, and it would not take long for the demon clan to be defeated. After fighting with the demon clan for so many days, Long Chun also figured out the rules of the demon clan. When the demon clan team loses more than half of its members, it is allowed to retreat. Only when a team retreats or is killed, other teams are qualified to enter other people's territory to fight. Of course, this is limited to the depths of the battlefield. The demons on the edge of the battlefield are very weak and in great chaos. Now that Shui-yin has come, he actually wants to fight for this battle and kill all the powerful demons such as Lang Qing. It can be seen that there should be rewards similar to killing points on the demon side, otherwise they would not be so crazy. Go! Kill them all, regardless of friend or foe. Shui-yin rushed to the front of the formation, waved his hand, and gave the order with a grin. Kill! The powerful demons brought by Shui-yin roared excitedly and pressed towards the side like a tide. At that moment, the disciples of the Luo family began to shrink the formation without Long Chen's command. This is their instinct. When they encounter extreme danger, they must use formations to fight the enemy to reduce casualties. Kill that commander first. I don't like him. Shui-yin saw Long Chun standing in the void with a calm face, and suddenly felt a little unhappy. Ling Feng's strike. Facing the demon clan strongmen who were surging like a tide, Long Chun held the long sword in his hand, bent his knees slightly, bent his waist slightly, and leaned slightly. A huge aura flowed around Long Chun, and the purple energy flowed slowly to Long Chen's big hand holding the sword. Clang! The long sword was unsheathed, and the sword sounded like a dragon's roar. A purple sword energy, like a purple crescent moon, instantly covered the battlefield in front. The crescent moon was like the sickle of the god of death, whistling past. When he saw this purple crescent moon, Shui-yin's face changed drastically. He didn't expect that this guy who looked harmless and awesome would use a killer move as soon as he made a move. The most terrifying thing was that before Long Chun made a move, no one could feel the fluctuation of energy, but after the move, the threat of death broke out instantly, and the fierce killing will swept across the world. The strong men who were locked by Long Chun were shocked to find that their bodies were stiff and their blood vessels were like solidified, and they could not make an effective response. Puff, puff, puff. The purple crescent swept across the battlefield. The void collapsed, thousands of paths shattered, and all the demon clan warriors on a line turned into blood mist. Tens of thousands of warriors were killed by a sword, and only Shui-yin, holding the bone fork, blocked the attack. In the end, he was the only one left on the battlefield. The power of a sword was so terrifying that, at that moment, everyone on the battlefield was stunned, and even the Luo family disciples were horrified. The last time Long Chen used a sword, he had already amazed the whole audience, and the power of this sword was even better than that sword. This was a shocking blow, and they had never seen such a terrifying move. Although they had seen someone use Ling Feng's attack before, and knew that it was a super killer move in Ling Feng's sword art, but when others used it, it was not even 1/10 of the power of this move. Moreover, when the instructor used it, it took several breaths just to charge the power. The instructor also warned them that this move was extremely powerful, but the charging time was too long, which was a fatal flaw. Don't use it easily, especially when facing masters. It is easy to be interrupted. However, Long Chen's attack was almost invisible in the charging process. He slashed out with a sword, but the power was 10 times that of the instructor's attack. The instructor was the Purple Crown Divine Emperor. Although the instructors were not combat-type strongmen, they were proficient in various magic skills. In terms of the power of a single move, they were not much inferior to combat-type strongmen. Sure enough, if the power is smaller, the mentality is calmer, and the soul is quieter, the sword energy is easier to control, the power is easier to concentrate, and the lethality becomes stronger. Clang! Long Chun sheathed his long sword, looked at the lonely blood on the battlefield, narrowed his eyes, and said in his heart, "Tisk, that's when you encounter the demons, your mentality can be calm, your soul can be quiet. How can I be calm when I encounter a fool like Luo Shenghui? How can I be calm?" Suddenly Long Chun overturned his own thoughts. He was not Yu Zifeng. How could he always be calm and clear-minded? In fact, it was not that he had improved, nor that his control had improved, but that the target was different and he was happy for nothing. Puff! At this moment, Xue Yin on the battlefield spurted out a mouthful of blood. His lower body did not move and his upper body slowly slid down. When seeing this scene, both the enemy and the enemy opened their mouths wide. At first, they thought that Xue Yin had blocked Long Chen's attack, and they were shocked by his strength. After all, he could block this attack without even summoning the dragon vein. Seeing him standing upright, everyone was shocked by his strength. But they didn't expect that he had already been cut off by Long Chen's sword, including the person and the weapon. However, this Xue Yin was indeed powerful. His body was cut off, and his will was still fighting against the will of Long Chen's sword energy. As long as he could suppress Long Chen's will, he could summon the dragon vein through the power of his soul and repair his body. But unfortunately, he failed. Puff! The two halves of his body slowly fell to the ground, and the two halves of his weapon also fell to the ground. Xue Yin, who was still alive and well and talking nonsense just now, died just like that. Run! When Lang Qing saw the scene, he yelled in fear, abandoned Luo Yanfeng and ran for his life. There was such a terrifying existence hidden in the opponent, so why not run now? When else? The other powerful demons heard the order and fled at the same time. Kill them, and never let them go back to inform the news. Luo Yanfeng roared and rushed to kill Lang Qing. Boom! Lang Qing had already been suppressed by Luo Yanfeng and was frightened by Long Chen's sword. The blood sprayed by Luo Yanfeng's sword was instantly severely injured. At this time, even if the demons were stupid, they knew that Long Chun had been hiding his strength. Since he was hiding it, he didn't want the opponent to know, so he had to keep the secret. But there were too many enemies, and they were running away randomly. It was impossible to kill them all without leaving a single one. For a moment, everyone was very anxious. If one ran away, the interception would fail. Purple blood burns the sky. Yin and Yang crossed together. At this moment, purple flames rose on Long Chen's thumb and middle finger. Snap! He pinched two fingers together and snapped them. The purple flame formed a Tai Chi diagram, instantly covering the entire battlefield. The purple flames instantly spread across the entire battlefield, covering the Luo family's disciples. The Luo family disciples suddenly felt a horrible burning sensation, which made their blood power instantly feel like boiling, but it did not cause them any harm. The demon clan warriors were wrapped in the purple flames and instantly burned up. They screamed miserably, and in one breath, they were all burned to ashes. After killing all the demon clan warriors with one blow, Long Chun looked at the burnt ashes and thought to himself, "The flame formed by the burning of purple blood lacks explosive power, but has great endurance. It's a pity that the guy called Xue Yin was hacked to death. Otherwise we could try to see how long the blood flame can burn on his body before it can pose a fatal threat to him." Among the crowd, only Lang Qing lasted for 3 breaths before being burned to death. But he was already severely injured by Luo Yanfeng, so he could not judge how much damage Long Chen's purple blood flame could cause in his prime. This was the first time Long Chen used the blood flame, which was a flame condensed by burning blood power. Different bloods would burn and form different flames. Long Chen discovered that when the purple blood flame touched the enemy, it would burn their flesh and soul at the same time. Long Chen could understand burning flesh, but being able to attack the soul shocked Long Chen. Long Chen couldn't help but sigh in his heart. There were too many secrets of purple blood. He needed to calm down and study it carefully. Long Chun, your moves are too terrifying. When can you teach us? Everyone came to Long Chun. Luo Jiang swallowed his saliva and said with envy. Long Chen's sword was so handsome, and the burst of flames between his fingers was so handsome that it made people's scalps numb. Who wouldn't want to have such a move? Long Chen smiled and said, "These are just some fur. If you want to learn, I can teach you at any time." Really? Hearing that Long Chun was willing to teach, everyone couldn't help but be ecstatic, and some people even shouted excitedly. If we all master this move, everyone uses it at the same time, and the power of blood is superimposed, then I will be invincible, right? Luo Ying said excitedly. Your idea is very good. Long Chun was stunned for a moment. Then he praised. Luo Ying's idea was very constructive. If everyone could stimulate the flame of blood at the same time, if there was no repulsion phenomenon and they overlapped with each other, the power reminded Long Chun of the Dragon Blood Legion's Dragon Blood Cross / However, it's not the time to teach you yet. On the one hand, you will be distracted on the battlefield, and on the other hand, your control of blood power is far from reaching that requirement. Don't worry, at your current speed, you can learn this move in a month at the slowest and half a month at the fastest. Long Chun comforted everyone. When everyone heard that they could learn so quickly, they were immediately more excited. In fact, there was another reason why Long Chun didn't teach them immediately. That is, he hadn't figured out how to teach. It's one thing to be able to comprehend it yourself, but it's another thing to teach others what you have comprehended. Because Long Chen's things were all comprehended by himself, even when Long Zhantian taught him, he was mainly inspired, giving a hint and letting him comprehend it himself. Therefore, how to teach this thing so that everyone can clearly know what Long Chun wants to express is the top priority. Now, your strength is getting stronger and stronger, but how to compress and control your own strength is still at the most primitive stage. In future battles, you must try your best to suppress your own strength and aura, and when you attack, try to control your strength as accurately as possible. If you can kill your opponent with 50% of your strength, you will never use 60%. If you can kill with one strike, you will never strike twice. Only by accurately controlling your own strength can you learn magic with half the effort. Long Chin said to everyone. Everyone has long been convinced by Long Chin. They believe what Long Chin says without any doubt. We just killed 2 elite troops, and you have roughly figured out the strength of the opponent. In fact, the so-called elite is just like this. The reason why the one called Lang Qing is difficult to deal with is that he has rich combat experience and has formed his own unique aura in the endless killing. Brother Yen Feng suffers from too little combat experience and has not formed his own aura, so he is easily led by the opponent. With every battle and every kill of an enemy, you are getting stronger. Don't worry, take it step by step. Long Chun comforted everyone. Because Long Chun saw that many people were too excited and more or less impetuous, which was not a good thing. After listening to Long Chen's words, everyone nodded, and after a little rest, they immediately set out to continue looking for the demon team. With the previous conversation between Lang Qing and Xue Yin, they already knew the basic deployment of the demons. The demon teams had marked out their territories and did not invade each other. To put it bluntly, they regarded the human race as fish, and as for whose net the fish got into, it depended on whose luck was better. However, the deployment of the Luo family disciples now needed to be changed. If they kept killing the enemy, the team will soon be targeted by the enemy. In this way, their true strength will be exposed. If the demons do not abide by martial ethics and send a large number of Purple Crown Emperors to attack, and the Purple Blood Clan is unable to rescue them in time, they will certainly be wiped out. This time, Long Chun commanded the Luo family disciples to retain a certain amount of strength. After fighting with the enemy, they killed them by surprise, pretended to be defeated, and fled immediately. As a result, after several charges, the demons were so angry that they screamed. Because of the restrictions on the territory, they could not rush into other people's territories. In the end, they could only helplessly watch Long Chun and others escape. Originally, the disciples of the Luo family were brave. They were brave and good at fighting, and fearless of death. However, when Long Chun changed their strategy and saw that the enemy was being played around and looked like they were about to bite, they suddenly realized that playing dirty was much more fun than playing fair. As the saying goes, it is not easy to learn good things, but it is easy to learn bad things. The Luo family's disciples were soon taught by Long Chun to be ruthless and mean. The strong men of the demon clan were so angry that they often chased after them and cursed at them. The more furious the strong men of the demon clan were, the happier the Luo family disciples were. Now, they have begun to become comfortable on the battlefield. However, a few days later, the demon clan seemed to be completely enraged by Long Chen's actions. Many demon clan teams began to cross the border to hunt down Long Chen and his companions. Then, the disciples of the Luo family struggled to survive in the pursuit of the demon clan teams. After several days, they killed countless demon clan elites and fought dozens of battles in a row without any time to rest. The disciples of the Luo family finally couldn't hold on any longer and had to return to the clan to rest. Under the leadership of Long Chen, the team always maintained a record of no deaths. This record began to make the Bai family a little uneasy. When Long Chen and his companions returned to the Purple Blood clan, they ran into a team head-on. When they saw the woman in the lead, Long Chen's heart was slightly shocked. The Bai family finally took out their trump card. Who is this person? When he saw the woman, Long Chen's heart trembled, and he quietly asked Luo Yanfeng. When they saw the woman, Luo Yanfeng and others were also shocked. Luo Yanfeng whispered, "This person's name is Bai Yingxue, and she is one of the 3 masters of the younger generation of the Bai family." Bai Yingxue? Bai Yingxiong's sister. Long Chen was stunned. No, they are both from the Ying generation, but they are several generations apart. However, this Bai Yingxue is indeed the bloodline of Bai Yingxiong. Luo Yanfeng whispered, "We must be careful. This Bai Yingxue's aura is completely different from before. I fought with her before, and that time I narrowly won a move, but now I have improved so much. But when I see her, I actually have a faint feeling of extreme danger." Looking at Bai Yingxue and others walking in the distance, Luo Yanfeng's face was full of solemnity. Now, after so many battles, he has improved a lot in strength, experience, vision, and perception than before. Now, he could see Bai Yingxue's horror at a glance, but he couldn't figure out how Bai Yingxue improved. The most important thing was that he couldn't feel the blessing of the totem on Bai Yingxue, which meant that she had already become so strong before she received the baptism of the totem. Bai Yingxue led the Bai family's strong men and walked straight towards Long Chen and others. When they were a few feet apart, they all stopped. Long Chen looked at Bai Yingxue in front of him. She was tall and thin, carrying a long sword on her back, with a wide forehead and a pointed chin, but her eyes were purple-red. Most of the disciples of the purple blood lineage have purple pupils. The richer the purple, the purer the blood of the disciple. However, there are some exceptions, that is, when they are born they have divine patterns in their pupils. Luo Yanfeng is like this. In addition to Luo Yanfeng, there are also several other geniuses such as Luo Shenghui, who also have such divine patterns. This divine pattern represents an innate divine power. This divine pattern usually awakens only when one reaches the human emperor realm. It is said that once awakened, it means that their strength will reach an unimaginable height. However, the eyes of Bai Yingxue in front of him are purple-red. This is a mutated bloodline, but Luo Yanfeng told Long Chen that the previous Bai Yingxue was not like this. In other words, this mutation occurred recently, and it is an acquired mutation which is extremely rare. The two sides confronted each other. Bai Yingxue's eyes were like a sharp sword, staring at Long Chen, with a fierce killing intent, without any concealment. The disciples of the Bai family behind her also glared at Long Chen and others. Long Chen slapped Bai Yingxiong in the face, and the whole purple blood lineage knew about this. After all, there is no wall that is impenetrable. So many people saw it at that time. Although the old patriarch ordered that it should not be spread outside, how could such a thing be controlled? It soon reached everyone's ears. The Bai family was furious. Long Chen's slap humiliated everyone in the Bai family, which was more uncomfortable than killing someone. Now Bai Yingxue saw Long Chen. Murderous intent was rolling. If she hadn't been able to keep a trace of rationality, she would have attacked Long Chen by now. Long Chen looked at Bai Yingxue. His face was cold and indifferent. His eyes were calm, and he didn't say a word. Of course, he was too lazy to say anything. In fact, from the moment the Bai family sent Bai Wanan to take action, Long Chen directly put the entire Bai family on the death list. Family disputes are inevitable. After all, there are only so many resources and competition is understandable. But as a family, competition must be fair. You actually used such a shady trick, and the means are so vicious. Since you don't regard us as family, then I have to list you as enemies. As for enemies, Long Chen has never been soft-hearted. So facing Bai Yingxue at this time, Long Chen has nothing to say. Sometimes it is better to say it with weapons than with your mouth. Facing the fierce and murderous Bai Yingxue, Luo Yanfeng and others also put their hands on their weapons. As long as the opponent dared to attack, they would never show mercy. This is what Long Chen taught them. No matter who it is, the moment he shows his weapon to you, he is your enemy. Long Chen on the battlefield. I, Bai Yingxue, will take your head. Bai Yingxue looked at Long Chen with a gloomy face and said it word by word. As soon as Bai Yingxue said this, the disciples of the Luo family were furious. Saying such words here was undoubtedly a challenge to them. Yingxue is a good name, but it's a pity. Long Chen shook his head. This name reminded him of Bai Yingxue, the girl with a sacred and noble temperament, beautiful and kind. Long Chen continued, although you want to kill me, I still want to advise you. You'd better wait a few more days. Oh? Do you want to live a few more days and explain your funeral affairs? Bai Yingxue thought Long Chen was afraid, and her eyes were full of contempt. Long Chen shook his head and said, although you are strong now, you can't last more than 3 moves against me. You! Bai Yingxue was furious. She had seen many people who were furious, but she had never seen anyone as furious as this one. Long Chen ignored her and continued, if you accumulate enough killing points and get the blessing of the totem, your strength will be greatly improved. At that time, if you are lucky, you may be able to last for 10 moves. After Long Chen finished speaking, he looked at Bai Yingxue with a serious look on his face. His expression made Bai Yingxue's chest rise and fall rapidly. She felt that she was about to explode with anger, and she wanted to kill Long Chen here. However, this was the purple blood lineage after all. Killing Long Chen here was equivalent to openly challenging the authority of the old patriarch and the rules set by the ancestors. In the end, she gritted her teeth and held back. When I chop off your head, I hope your mouth can still be so hard. Bai Yingxue gritted her teeth, threw down a word, and left directly with the disciples of the Bai family. When the Bai family disciples left, they made a provocative gesture of cutting the throat to Long Chen and others. Long Chen didn't care. He had experienced too many such childish provocations in his life. It was no different from watching a monkey show. But Luo Yanfeng and others couldn't stand it. The Bai family targeted the Luo family everywhere and suppressed the Luo family for so many years. The Luo family could only grit their teeth and swallow their anger. Now, the Bai family still put on a victim's posture, which made them even more angry. Long Chen, since we have torn our faces with the Bai family, then we will fight them to the death on the battlefield. Luo Yanfeng looked at the backs of the Bai family leaving and gritted his teeth. Obviously, he was also completely murderous. Among this group of people, only Bai Yingxue is stronger, and the others are all radishes and cabbages. They must be going to the depths of the Demon Clan battlefield. By then, it will be good if half of them can come back alive. If things go wrong, the whole army will be wiped out. Fighting them to the death? I'm afraid there is no chance. Long Chen shook his head. Hearing Long Chen's words, and thinking of the Demon Clan masters who were completely enraged by them and had completely lost their martial ethics and began to hunt them down on a large scale, everyone couldn't help but laugh. Okay, those who haven't accepted the totem blessing, hurry up and accept the blessing, and those who should exchange it, go and exchange the treasure, and then take a good rest and continue the next challenge. Next time, we will go deeper and challenge more powerful Demon Clan elites. Long Chen said. After arranging the tasks, Long Chen went directly to Luo Zichuan's secret room, handed hundreds of thousands of heavenly Dao fruits to his grandfather. and immediately returned to the battlefield. Only on the battlefield can the heavenly Tao tree capture the energy of the killed purple blood disciples and produce heavenly Tao fruits. When Long Chun stepped into the battlefield alone, he took a step and headed deep into the demon clan battlefield alone. After entering the battlefield, Long Chun directly opened his perception, passing through the gaps between the demon clan's garrison territory and moving all the way to the depths. Long Chun found that the further he went, the fewer people in the demon clan's team, but the stronger their strength. It seems that the number of the new generation of disciples of the demon clan has reached its limit, and they also want to borrow the hands of the purple blood clan to have a bloody trial. Long Chun couldn't help but be secretly shocked. The further he went, the more masters he encountered, and these masters were not cultivated in a greenhouse, but fed with their lives. This life was naturally the life of the demon clan's own people. Using the lives of their own people to cultivate strong people, it is obvious that the internal competition of the demon clan is more intense and more cruel than that of the purple blood clan. After all, the reproduction capacity of the demon clan is 100 times that of the human race. They must control the growth of their numbers, otherwise their resources will not be enough. After moving forward for more than an hour, there were fewer and fewer strong people. Finally, Long Chun found that he was guarding a territory alone. As soon as Long Chun stepped into the territory of a strong man, the demon who was sitting cross-legged on the ground suddenly opened his eyes and looked around suspiciously. Obviously, he had sensed it. Long Chun's heart trembled. This person was very strong. He could sense it from such a long distance. However, after Long Chun took a step forward, he retreated. The demon frowned, then shook his head and said to himself, "Maybe I am too impatient. It is estimated that it will take at least a month for them to get here. Let's wait." After the demon said this, he closed his eyes again, and the demon energy was filled with his body. He began to close his eyes and rest. Long Chun hesitated for a moment, and finally did not move forward. This person could not accurately sense him, and his strength must be below his. But if he continued to move forward and got too close, it would be easy for him to capture his breath. Although Long Chun was not afraid of him, appearing here too early would alert the demons, and then Luo Yanfeng and others might not be able to practice step by step. In the end, Long Chun did not rush forward, but stayed where he was, quietly extending his consciousness under the ground. Long Chun saw countless dark rivers, sending the power of purple blood into the depths of the battlefield, and there was a small vortex at the location of the demon clan strongman in front of him. In the vortex, the power of purple blood rose, and he was slowly absorbing it. The purple blood clan treats the demon clan as pigs to kill, and the demon clan is the same. The demon clan strongmen can directly absorb part of the blood soul power to strengthen themselves by killing the purple blood clan disciples. The rest is sent to the demon clan's lair by the formation, and in the process of transportation, these top demon clan strongmen can also get some benefits while waiting. Coming here, Long Chun has basically figured out the layout of the demon clan. No wonder the demon clan only defends and does not attack. So many demon clan strongmen have died, but they are still unmoved. It seems that all this is in their plan. The demon clan in front of the battlefield are baits they have laid to lure the purple blood clan to fight a war of attrition with them. Who? Suddenly, thousands of heavenly Tao fruits fell from the heavenly Tao tree in Long Chun's chaos space, which meant that thousands of purple blood disciples were instantly killed. So many people died in an instant, and it was obvious that some people were greedy for merit and rushed too deep, encountering powerful demons causing huge casualties. Looking at these fallen heavenly Tao fruits, many of which looked like they had 5 or 6 veins, Long Chun knew that the purple blood clan had also begun to act ruthlessly. The potential of purple blood was infinite, but in order to stimulate the potential, they needed to experience the stimulation of death, which would allow their blood to awaken. However, awakening the bloodline would come at a painful price, but at this time there was no time for them to complete it step by step. Countless years of recuperation were just for this cruel elimination match. Long Chun had just entered the battlefield for less than 3 hours, and under the heavenly Tao tree, there were already hundreds of thousands of heavenly Tao fruits. Each heavenly Tao fruit was a living life. Looking at them, Long Chun felt a little uncomfortable, but he could do nothing about it. Long Chun separated the heavenly Dao fruits of the Purple Blood Clan, and from the heavenly Dao fruits of the Demon Clan, Long Chun only kept the heavenly Dao fruits of the 9 veins and 13 veins heavenly saints, and the others were directly thrown into the black soil as garbage, allowing the black soil to swallow them. Long Chun didn't know how to digest these top-level heavenly Dao fruits of the demon race. Humans couldn't eat these heavenly Dao fruits that were tainted with demonic energy. However, this kind of thing was also extremely precious. Although he didn't know what use they would have in the future, he still had to save them first. Long Chun tried to use his soul power to go along the underground river to take a look at the altar. This time, he found that a barrier was set up on the altar, and Long Chun's consciousness couldn't penetrate it. Obviously, the last peak seemed to have aroused their vigilance, so Long Chun had to give up. Long Chun carefully circled around for a few times and found that this line was full of masters. It seemed unrealistic to want to pass under their noses without being discovered. In the end, Long Chun circled around for a long time and returned to the middle area of the battlefield. The battle here was extremely fierce. After several life and death battles, the strong men of the Purple Blood Clan have gradually revealed their edge. The power of their bloodline is awakening and their combat effectiveness is improving. Of course, those who have not improved have no chance to improve, and they all died in the hands of the demons in the end. There were also beings in the Demon Clan who showed amazing talents in the killing. Long Chun saw a Demon Clan strongman who was killing vigorously, but suddenly gave up killing and withdrew directly to the next battlefield. Obviously, the strength of the Demon Clan strongman had broken the balance of this battlefield. In order not to put more pressure on the Purple Blood Clan, he was listed as a strong man of the next level and could only fight in his own exclusive area. Long Chun sneered in his heart. The Demon Clan was seducing the Purple Blood Clan step by step and fighting a war of attrition with them, fearing that the Purple Blood Clan would give up because of the huge casualties. The battlefield was huge. After the previous period of running in, almost all the young disciples of the Purple Blood Clan had gone to the battlefield. One attack and one defense, the momentum was huge, and the battlefield was like a vast ocean. Even for Long Chun, the activity area was only a small part of it. In half a day, Long Chun had accumulated hundreds of thousands of heavenly Dao fruits in his hand. Long Chun immediately returned, handed the heavenly Dao fruits to Luo Zichuan, and then rushed into the battlefield again. However, as soon as Long Chun entered the battlefield, Luo Yanfeng followed. Now, all the disciples of the Luo family have completed the totem blessing, and their strength has soared again. As soon as they completed the blessing, these disciples couldn't wait to reunite with Long Chun. As soon as they reunited, Luo Jiang clenched his fist and said, "Let's go capture Bai Yingxue now. It's time for revenge." Luo Jiang and the others have always remembered the killing intent Bai Yingxue showed when she provoked them last time. The Luo family and the Bai family are now almost at loggerheads, and the Luo family disciples who have experienced several life and death battles have seen through it now. In the future, only one of the Luo family and the Bai family may survive. Now, they have the potential to kill decisively and can see the essence of the problem. Instead of waiting for Bai Yingxue to come to them, they will kill them directly. That's right, since we have already torn our faces. It is definitely better to be proactive than passive. Luo Ying also nodded. The disciples of the Luo family also expressed their agreement. The Bai family has suppressed the Luo family for so many years, and hatred has been accumulating. Now that the Luo family finally has the strength, it is time to show their fangs. Brother Yanfeng, what do you think? Long Chun looked at Luo Yanfeng. Luo Yanfeng was stunned. Everyone has said it so clearly, what else can I think? He was not stupid. He knew that Long Chun might have a different opinion, so he asked him. Luo Yanfeng said awkwardly, "My opinion is the same as everyone else's." Long Chun nodded and said, "Your ideas and direction are fine, but your approach lacks skills." "Why?" Everyone was stunned. Long Chun said, "If we take the initiative to attack, if we kill Bai Yingxue and the genius disciples of the Bai family, and finally the relatively weak disciples of the Bai family kneel down and beg for mercy, what will you do?" No matter whether he begs for mercy or not, since they are enemies, we cannot be soft-hearted. We should just cut the grass and root it out. If they are not kind, don't blame us for being unjust. There is nothing to say. Luo Jiang clenched his fists and said. However, many people looked thoughtful. Obviously, they heard what Long Chen meant. If they really started to fight, facing the pleading of their own people, could they really do that? After all, they have the same blood flowing in their bodies. Killing, can't bear it. Not killing? Unwilling. Because they know that if they were in the same place, the people of the Bai family would definitely not show mercy to them. Although what Luo Jiang said was right, saying and doing are two different things. Killing the tribesmen who kneel down to surrender may leave psychological trauma and produce inner demons. Long Chen, what should we do? Luo Yanfeng asked. Isn't it simple? Just wait for them to make the first move. When they take the initiative to swing the butcher knife at us, will you still show mercy? Long Chen said. Yes. Luo Yanfeng slapped his thigh. Isn't it enough to wait for them to make the first move? Even if you suffer a little loss, at least you don't have to be condemned by your conscience, and there will be no psychological trauma. Besides, we are not assassins. As long as we keep in peak condition, what is the difference between active and passive? Long Chen laughed. When Long Chen said this, everyone immediately understood. Luo Yanfeng and others laughed. This is simple. Luo Jiang, you choose to take the initiative because you have no confidence. Long Chen laughed. Luo Jiang smiled awkwardly and said, How is that possible? My current strength doesn't frighten me at all. It's just that I'm afraid my brothers can't stand it. Are you kidding? Our Luo family warriors have all experienced the baptism of blood and fire, and have received the blessings of our ancestors. How can we be afraid of those bastards of the Bai family? Long Chen laughed. After Long Chen said this, the disciples of the Luo family couldn't help but laugh arrogantly. Looking at the entire Purple Blood clan, only their team has all been baptized by their ancestors, and their overall strength can be said to be the best. Again, remember to restrain your breath at ordinary times, especially in front of the Bai family. Pretend to be a soft persimmon, and then wait for them to pinch you. When they kill us, we can fight back indefinitely. At that time, even if we report it to the old patriarch, what's the point? At that time, the head of the family doesn't have to bother to explain anything. We kill happily, and the elders are relieved. The Bai family will only be sad. Long Chen laughed. Hee. Long Chen, you are really too bad. Luo Ying saw Long Chen's sly smile and couldn't help laughing. Hey. Do you know how to use words? How can this be called bad? This is called wisdom. Yes, it is wisdom. Luo Jiang flattered him directly. Long Chen laughed. After so many bloody battles, everyone has thoroughly understood each other and established absolute trust. It feels good to have no barriers between words. Let's go. Long Chen led everyone and went directly to the depths of the battlefield. As a result, wherever he passed, there were demon corpses everywhere, and demon blood formed a swamp. What's the situation? There are actually people like us who have killed to this level of battlefield. When they saw the crisscrossing gullies on the battlefield and the violent purple blood power, Luo Yanfeng and others were shocked. Long Chen glanced at the traces on the battlefield, felt the blood in the air and said, This should be done by Yingxue. She dared to challenge such a high-level battlefield directly on the battlefield for the first time? Luo Jiang and others were shocked. Long Chen did not speak, but Luo Ying said, Do you think she will patiently lead the Bai family disciples like Long Chen led us? Everyone suddenly realized that Bai Yingxue wanted to accumulate killing points quickly and didn't care about the lives of others. Judging from the purple blood aura remaining on the ground, many Bai family disciples must have died here. However, on the battlefield, once the disciples of the Purple Blood clan were killed, their bodies would be devoured by the demons, and the scene would be extremely bloody, so generally no corpses would be left. No, this breath is a bit evil. Long Chen suddenly sniffed the air with his nose and frowned. How could there be a hint of evil in the purple blood? Long Chen, what's wrong? Everyone noticed that Long Chen's face looked different and couldn't help asking. It's okay. Let's go. Don't pay attention to them. This battlefield has been ruined by them. Let's just keep moving forward. Long Chun did not explain and continued to move forward with everyone. As a result, they did not walk far before a group of people came towards them. When they saw this group of people, Luo Yanfeng and others' pupils shrank suddenly. Bai Yingxue. What they did not expect was that the group of people was none other than Bai Yingxue and the disciples of the Bai family led by her. What shocked everyone was that the team led by Bai Yingxue originally had tens of thousands of people, but now, there were only a few hundred people left, less than 1,000. Moreover, everyone was injured, covered in blood, and pale. Obviously, they had just experienced a tragic battle. Bai Yingxue was not much better. One of her arms disappeared, and there were maggot-like magic runes on the wound, which looked very scary. When Bai Yingxue and others saw Long Chun and others, their faces changed drastically. She never thought that she would be so unlucky today and meet Long Chun and others at the weakest time. She immediately clenched the weapon in her hand, and Bai Yingxue said coldly, "Are you going to take advantage of others' misfortune?" Long Chun looked at Bai Yingxue with a smile, and said lightly, "Taking advantage of others' misfortune is your Bai family's habit, but our Luo family is not so mean." Hearing Long Chen's words and seeing that Luo Yanfeng and others did not have the posture to take action, Bai Yingxue and others' hanging hearts were relieved a lot. But Long Chen's words were extremely humiliating, which made Bai Yingxue furious. However, at this time they had just experienced a battle and were seriously injured. If they fought with Long Chun and others at this time, they would definitely suffer a great loss, and even the whole army might be annihilated. Bai Yingxue snorted coldly, led people to bypass Long Chun and others and left quickly. Looking at Bai Yingxue's cold eyes when she left, Luo Jiang said bitterly, "If the roles were reversed, they would never let us leave. Why can they be so cruel, and why should we be modest gentlemen?" Luo Jiang. Luo Ying glared at Luo Jiang. What he said was equivalent to complaining about Long Chen's womanly kindness. Luo Jiang knew that he had said the wrong thing at this time, and was about to apologize to Long Chun. But Long Chun shook his hand and said, "Your idea is very good, and you say whatever you think in your heart, and you are consistent inside and out. There is nothing wrong with that." Luo Jiang thought Long Chun was angry, and hurriedly said, "Long Chun, I just can't stand it." Long Chun nodded and said, "I understand. The reason why I let them go is not because I am soft-hearted, nor because I care about my reputation, but for everyone." Seeing everyone's stunned expressions, Long Chun explained, "The reason why I let them go is that in my eyes, they do not pose a threat at all. Killing or not, it doesn't make much sense. But if he can pose a threat to my brothers and sisters, they will definitely die today. Letting them go today is to give them a chance to attack us. Because it takes courage to kill your own people, and this courage can only be given to you by your opponent." Long Chun knows human nature too well. Most of the disciples of the Luo family are kind-hearted, generous, and righteous. Let them fight for the family, and they dare to face death. However, facing their own people wielding the butcher knife, it will definitely cause psychological trauma to many people. In order to avoid the trauma, they need to find an opportunity to force them to wield the butcher knife. Everyone seemed to understand, but Long Chun did not explain too much and continued to lead everyone to the depths of the Demon Clan territory. Soon, everyone encountered a group of Demon Clan teams that were resting. They were the Demon Clan masters who had chased Bai Yingxue before. They killed many strong men of the Purple Blood Clan and were still immersed in excitement. Long Chun and others came to kill them at this moment. The disciples of the Luo family drew their weapons directly and killed the Demon Clan masters like hungry wolves. Luo Yanfeng killed the leader directly. Puff, puff, puff. The disciples of the Luo family who had been blessed showed unprecedented terrifying power. The power of purple blood burst out. The sword energy was crisscrossed. The shadow of the knife was all over the sky, and countless Demon Clan masters were chopped into pieces. Boom, boom, boom. Luo Yanfeng and the demon leader exchanged 6 sword strikes in a row. Finally, at the 7th strike, the demon leader was knocked away by Luo Yanfeng's sword, and blood spurted out. Buzz! Luo Yanfeng took a step forward, turned around, and slashed at the demon leader's head with his sword. However, this sword missed. Luo Yanfeng was shocked and looked closely, and found that the demon leader had fallen into Long Chen's hands. Long Chen. Long Chen's movement stunned Luo Yanfeng, and he didn't know what Long Chen meant. Puff! Long Chen pointed a finger at the head of the demon leader, activated the power of the soul, and searched the soul directly. Boom! At the moment when Long Chen searched the soul, the runes around the demon clan leader burned rapidly and exploded. Long Chen, be careful. Luo Yanfeng was shocked. The souls of demon clan leaders cannot be searched. Once the souls are searched, they will instantly explode, and the self-explosion will trigger the curse runes. Once the runes are attached, it will be troublesome. Buzz! Endless curse runes instantly pounced on Long Chen, but purple flames instantly appeared around Long Chen, burning the runes directly into ashes. The scary thing about this curse rune is that it is too fast, so fast that people can't react, and this speed is not worth mentioning in front of Long Chen. Long Chen's actions scared Luo Yanfeng and others. The curse of the demon clan is not a joke. Long Chen, what are you doing? Luo Yanfeng couldn't help asking. There was no point in risking soul searching. He couldn't get any information and put himself in danger. Through the soul search, I saw a picture and confirmed one thing. Long Chen said. What is it? Luo Yanfeng and others were stunned. Bai Yingshua's injury has nothing to do with this group of demon clan masters. Long Chen said. What? Everyone was shocked. Long Chen said, Bai Yingxue should have led the team and rushed directly into the deeper part of the battlefield. After being severely injured by the enemies there, he fled all the way back, and this group of demons was just a part of the pursuit of them. Long Chen said. From the soul of the demon clan master, Long Chen deduced a general situation. Although it may not be absolutely accurate, it should not be too far off. The reason why Long Chen searched the soul was because he found that the strength of this demon clan master was not very strong and had no ability to severely injure Bai Yingxue. Thinking of the breath on Bai Yingshue's wound, Long Chen thought of those top demon clan masters who were guarding alone. Long Chen couldn't imagine what kind of brain this Bai Yingxue had, and actually took a group of clansmen to die. In the end, only 1 out of 10 of the entire team survived, and she was also seriously injured. Fortunately, the demons had a strict battlefield awareness and could not invade other people's territories. Otherwise she would have gone without return and the whole army would have been wiped out. It was a bit funny to think about it. This Bai Yingxue really didn't know how high the sky was and how deep the earth was. At the same time, she really didn't treat her own people as human beings. However, her approach was simple and crude but effective. Those who could make it out of this battle were definitely the strongest among the strong. She didn't give the weak any chance and instantly selected the strongest batch. There is a stronger existence in the depths? Hearing Long Chen say this, Luo Yanfeng and others couldn't help but take a breath. Before, Luo Yanfeng deliberately tested the demon strongman. Luo Yanfeng only used 80% of his strength and easily defeated him, so he gradually despised Bai Yingxue. But when he heard Long Chen say this, his heart was pounding. Bai Yingxue was seriously injured, and the demon leader still couldn't keep her, so he had to reevaluate Bai Yingshue's strength. Aren't we already deep in the battlefield? Are there stronger beings inside? Luo Ying and the others were stunned. They thought that they were at the deepest part of the battlefield. Well, it's time for you to see the real strong ones, so that you won't be too arrogant. Long Chen pondered for a moment, and finally waved his hand, leading everyone to go deeper again. Kill! The demon clan masters and the Luo family disciples roared at the same time and rushed directly towards each other. This was the 7th wave of demon clan masters that the Luo family disciples had killed. As they advanced forward, the demon clan masters became stronger and more ferocious. At the beginning, the number of demon clan masters was greater than that of the Luo family disciples. In the 3rd wave, the number of both sides was equal. However, starting from the 4th wave, the number of demon clan masters began to decrease sharply. While the number decreased, their strength increased exponentially. When they faced the sixth wave of enemies, they were all fierce characters. The number of demon clan masters was only 1/3 of that of the Luo family disciples. 3 against 1, there were still dangers everywhere. Many people were seriously injured, and several almost died on the spot. In the end, they had no choice but to set up a battle array to fight the enemy, and then they recovered. The number of enemies in front of them was only a few hundred, but each of them had an extremely strong aura. As soon as they made a move, the demonic energy filled the sky, covering the sun and the moon. When they raised their hands and feet, the power of destroying the world was suffocating. At this time, Luo Yanfeng and others could still cope, but without forming a formation, the other disciples were in danger and gradually began to feel unable to hold on. But the last time they set up a formation, they were scolded by Long Chen. They had not met a real strong man, but they had to set up a formation. Bai Yingxue led people to face stronger enemies and fought back. Could it be that the disciples of the Luo family were worse than those of the Bai family? The disciples of the Luo family were also brave people. How could they bear being provoked by Long Chen? They secretly swore that as long as Long Chen did not give an order, they would never set up a formation even if they died. The disciples of the Luo family roared and gnashed their teeth. Several people besieged one person, but they could not take down the opponent. This was a huge shame for them. Thinking of Bai Yingxue leading the disciples of the Bai family to fight against stronger demons, their ferocity was completely aroused. Every move was fierce and desperate. In the end, this battle lasted for an hour, and finally all the enemies were killed. After all, the number of people far exceeded the enemy, and they were surrounded from the beginning. If they let the enemy escape, the disciples of the Luo family would probably buy a piece of tofu and die. Old rules. 1 stick of incense, time to rest and adjust. Long Chen said. From beginning to end, Long Chen did not take action. Although everyone was in danger, everything was under control and he did not need to save lives. As long as they were not facing death, Long Chen would never take action. Only in this way can the benefits be maximized. After hearing what Long Chen said, everyone did not say much, and immediately sat cross-legged to cultivate and quickly recover their physical strength. Today's disciples of the Luo family grow very fast. On the battlefield, they try to retain their strength as much as possible and not waste a bit. In this way, they can recover very quickly. 1 stick of incense passed in the blink of an eye. Long Chen led everyone to continue forward. When they met a team of only dozens of people, Long Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. Form a formation to meet the enemy. Long Chen shouted, and the disciples of the Luo family immediately formed a formation and rushed towards the group of people. There were only dozens of people in this group, sitting cross-legged on the ground, seemingly taking a rest. When they saw the disciples of the Luo family rushing towards them, the leader couldn't help but smile grimly. It's really interesting. Just now a crazy woman escaped from us with her remaining soldiers, but a complete team came. Could it be that the demon god appeared and we deserved to get rich? Ha ha! The powerful purple blood, the delicious taste, is delivered to our door. Another demon clan strongman licked his sharp teeth with a scarlet tongue, and there were purple blood stains on his teeth. It turned out that this was the place they were guarding. After Bai Yingxue was injured, he fled with the disciples of the Bai family and ended up stepping into their territory. They were immediately excited and took action directly. What they didn't expect was that Bai Yingxue was extremely strong and broke through their blockade despite being seriously injured. Although the blockade was broken, there were still hundreds of elite disciples who stayed here and were devoured by these demon clan masters. They were meditating here to digest the purple blood they had just absorbed. As a result, before they had finished digesting it, they saw another wave coming with thousands of people. They were immediately overjoyed. Boom! Luo Yanfeng was the first to bear the brunt of it. He recognized the leader and killed him directly. The demon clan master, holding a magic blood sword, fought with him. With a loud bang, the demon clan master's body shook, and Luo Yanfeng was shocked and retreated 5 or 6 steps. He almost sat on the ground. Luo Yanfeng's face changed. No wonder you dare to rush here. You must be very capable. However, with this little strength, you will never see your parents again. Ha ha ha. The demon clan leader laughed, took a step forward, and the magic blood sword in his hand was full of blood. He locked Luo Yanfeng and slashed him with a knife. I've met a tough guy. I can't hold back any longer. Luo Yanfeng gritted his teeth and shouted. 13 dragon veins behind him instantly burned, and the power of blood and qi gushed out, covering the sky. Boom! The broadsword swung, and the purple divine light surged. It slashed heavily on the demon blood sword. With one blow, the world shook, and ripples appeared in the void. The leader of the demon clan was blown away by Luo Yanfeng. Ha ha ha, the human kid is quite capable. Well, it's more interesting to kill him this way. The leader of the demon clan was blown away by Luo Yanfeng. He didn't get angry but laughed. With a blood stain on the corner of his mouth, his face was full of excitement and ferocity. So much nonsense! Luo Yanfeng shouted coldly, and purple qi gushed out of his body. He turned into a purple lightning and rushed out to kill. Boom, boom, boom. Luo Yanfeng's offensive was fierce. He slashed 66 swords in one breath. The wind was howling, and the momentum was terrifying. The leader of the demon clan was suppressed by him in an instant and could only defend and retreat. Luo Ying, Luo Jiang, ZMO and other captain-level warriors each dealt with a demon clan warrior. These warriors were second only to the leader in strength and were equally terrifying. For a while, everyone was in a close fight. The other warriors, relying on the advantages of the formation, cooperated with each other and fought fiercely with the demon clan warriors. However, they were not the formations taught by Long Chen. They were all entry-level formations, and their main purpose was to deal with the melee of warriors of the same level. This formation was not afraid of enemies with several times or even dozens of times more people than itself, but it was not so lethal when facing top warriors with fewer people. At this time, they could only barely protect themselves under the urging of the formation, and the opponents saw that everyone was on the defensive and attacked more recklessly. If the formation was broken at this time, they would be killed instantly. At that moment, everyone's heart was in their throats. At this time, they finally understood how terrifying the top warriors of the demon clan were. The two sides fought fiercely, and everyone showed their strongest posture. Luo Yanfeng and others even burned purple blood. As long as they could kill their opponents quickly, they could come to help everyone. In other words, if they could kill their opponents, the balance of the battlefield would be instantly broken, and victory would tilt towards them. The two sides fought bloody battles, and Long Chen stood in the air, with his hands behind his back, observing the entire battlefield. Buzz! Suddenly, a demon clan strongman finally noticed him, holding a bone spear, and stabbed at Long Chen. Aren't you unlucky? Seeing the demon clan strongman coming to kill, Long Chen opened his hands, and purple runes instantly covered his hands. Pa! The full-strength spear of the 13 Veins Heavenly Saint Demon Clan was caught by Long Chen with his bare hands. When Long Chen's big hand grabbed the white bone spear, countless magic runes lit up on the spear shaft of the white bone spear, and vast power gushed out. Explode for me! The Demon Clan strongmen roared, and the endless rune power on the spear instantly surged to the tip of the spear, and the overwhelming power poured out. According to the Demon Clan strongman's idea, the power of this attack was incomparable and could not be resisted by flesh and blood. Long Chen would definitely explode in an instant, and his body would be gone. However, at the moment of his explosion, Long Chen's palm trembled slightly. Every time it trembled, a large part of the power of the white bone spear would disappear inexplicably. After 3 times, all his rune power disappeared without a trace. The Demon Clan strongman was shocked. This situation was something he had never dreamed of. His power disappeared inexplicably. Just as he was horrified, Long Chen pulled with his big hand, and the Demon Clan warrior was involuntarily pulled in front of Long Chen. Before he could make any move, Long Chen waved his hand and slapped him. Pa! You still want to hug me? Hug your sister. Long Chun slapped his hand, and purple blood wrapped around his big hand. This was not just a slap of mental humiliation. The power of this slap was highly concentrated, and the Demon Clan warrior's head was slapped and exploded in an instant. Because his power was concentrated on the spear, he had no spare power to protect his soul, and his head exploded and he died directly. Long Chen's move shocked and angered the Demon Clan warriors. They realized that there was a super terrifying existence hidden in this team. Before, Long Chen's aura was mediocre and his bloodline power was weak, so no one took him seriously. But now, they found that the most dangerous person in the entire team was this guy who looked harmless. I advise you not to attack me so that you can at least live a little longer. After all, the life of a demon is beautiful, and the fleeting time is worth cherishing. Hey, are you deaf? Can't you hear what I say? While Long Chun was speaking, 5 Demon Clan masters came to kill Long Chun from 5 directions. They didn't care what Long Chun said at all. They only knew that they had to kill this dangerous guy first. The previous Demon Clan master was killed because of carelessness, but now these 5 people attacked at the same time and cooperated with each other. They wanted to test Long Chen's true strength. Why don't you listen? Long Chun formed a seal with one hand, and suddenly 5 fist-sized flames appeared around his body. When the flames came out, the terrifying high temperature scorched the sky. Suddenly, the flames exploded, and 5 golden birds rushed out. When they spread their wings, the golden flames were like divine rain pouring down, and they were extremely majestic. These divine birds were the 3-legged golden crows. 5 golden crows appeared, with a wingspan of 10 feet, carrying endless sun fire, and directly pounced on those Demon Clan masters. Boom, boom, boom. The 5 powerful demons were shocked and tried to resist, but were knocked away. So strong. When Long Chun saw this, he was also stunned. When Long Chun led the Luo family disciples to the battlefield, Huolinger said that she wanted to show him something and taught Long Chun a seal. Long Chun didn't pay much attention to it at the time, thinking that Huolinger had learned some new skills. Now that Long Chun used it, he found that it was actually the Golden Crow summoning. And these 5 golden crows could be so powerful that Long Chun himself was stunned. Hee, how is it? Surprised or not? At this time, Huolinger's laughter came. This is simply thunder. This is too strong. How did you do it? Long Chun couldn't help asking. When Dad was teaching brother Long Chun various techniques, I was also eavesdropping. According to what Dad taught me, I combined my own insights and merged the power of fire to create something that is exclusive to me. I compressed the sun rune to the extreme, injected it into the 9 Golden Crow warriors, and washed away all their original life runes, so that they were completely reborn and became brand new Golden Crow warriors. Such Golden Crow warriors have the purest sun fire, and the power of control has reached an unprecedented level. Brother Long Chun, am I awesome? Huolinger was so excited when she said this. Obviously, she was very proud of her masterpiece and urgently needed Long Chen's affirmation. It's not just awesome, it's simply too awesome. A Golden Crow warrior has the strength to rival the 13 Dragon Vein heavenly saints. If the Golden Crow army is summoned, Long Chun didn't dare to say it. The scene was shocking to Long Chun himself. Huolinger is simply a genius. She can think of such a thing. Not only can she think of it, but she can also do it. Not only can she do it, but she can also succeed. This is all thanks to Dad. Dad is the most powerful person in the world. Huolinger laughed. Obviously, she also regarded Long Zhantian as her father, and she also admired Long Zhantian. Huolinger laughed and continued. Besides, this is just my first step. Then I have to train my Jade Rabbit warriors. Taiyin Sun, Jade Rabbit Golden Crow, just thinking about it makes me excited. When the time comes, I can summon them to fight, and I can also use them as the source of power. When brother uses the return of all methods again, the power will definitely not be the same as last time. Huolinger became more and more excited as she spoke, and Long Chun became more and more surprised as he listened. From the tone of his voice, Huolinger seemed to have gained more from this gathering with her father than he did. And I am also comprehending the source runes of the Ice Soul Divine Flame, and I have already made some progress. Huolinger said, Awesome, really awesome. From now on, my brother's safety will be in your hands. If anyone is not convinced, you can help my brother beat him. Long Chun said with admiration. Okay, I will protect my brother. Huolinger vowed. Huolinger and Lei Linger are the same. They always want to protect Long Chun. Once Long Chun says that they need their protection, they will be very happy. Huolinger was very excited. Long Chun suddenly thought of Lei Linger. It seems that Lei Linger has not made any movement for a long time. After coming out of the Tianmai Shenjing, she seems to have not communicated with him. Long Chun quietly sank his consciousness into the chaotic space, searched around, and finally saw Lei Linger in a hidden corner. When he saw Lei Linger, Long Chun couldn't help but be shocked, because at this time Lei Linger turned into a giant thunder egg, and countless thunder runes were flashing on the giant egg. She is actually in nirvana. Long Chen's heart was pounding. This girl didn't say a word before nirvana. Wait for me to kill some top masters. Long Chun looked at the runes on the giant egg, which kept flashing, but the fluctuations seemed weak, which was a sign of insufficient energy. No, Lei Linger needs energy. I can't keep talking nonsense like this. I have to get some benefits myself. Suddenly Long Chun looked at those powerful demons, and those powerful demons suddenly felt their souls tremble and shuddered. The 5 demon clan warriors who rushed towards Long Chun were entangled by 5 golden crows. The fire of the sun was surging, and they fought fiercely with them. In an instant, the 5 demon clan warriors were killed and retreated again and again, and were suppressed. Brother Yanfeng, that guy is thick and wide, and he uses heavy weapons. People like him usually have difficulty turning. You only need to switch positions left and right a few times, and he will expose his weaknesses. Long Chun shouted. Reminded by Long Chun, Luo Yanfeng took a step sideways, and the demon clan warrior instinctively turned around and slashed with the magic blood sword. At this time, Luo Yanfeng dodged to the right again, and the demon clan warrior slashed into the air. At this time, Luo Yanfeng had already reached the other side of him. As Long Chun said, the demon clan warrior used heavy weapons. After slashing into the air, he turned again, his body stagnated, and suddenly revealed an opening. Seeing this, Luo Yanfeng was so impressed by Long Chun that he almost bowed down to him. This guy was like a god. He had been fighting for so long, looking for the opponent's weakness, but he never found it. With Long Chen's reminder, the opponent's fatal flaw was instantly exposed. Luo Yanfeng slashed with his sword, and the demon clan strongman didn't stand firmly. After blocking, he lost his balance and was slashed away by Luo Yanfeng. Luo Yanfeng's attack was effective, and he was overjoyed. He stepped forward, jumped up quickly, rushed left and right, and killed the demon clan strongman with a few moves, making him roar in anger and extremely embarrassed. Long Chun shouted, Brother Yanfeng, you need strength and skills. Don't just fight with strength. You are an all-round warrior. If you can master the real fighting skills, this guy will definitely not be able to stop you in 3 moves. Even if there are 10 of him, it will not threaten your life. Try more and accumulate more experience. Originally, Long Chun planned to teach them this skill after a while, but now Long Chun urgently needs the corpse of a powerful demon clan strongman. So he must speed up the progress. Anyway, the foundation of Luo Yanfeng and others has been laid solid enough, so it doesn't matter if they come a few days in advance. Thank you, brother. After receiving Long Chen's reminder, Luo Yanfeng seemed to see an unprecedented world. He was no longer restrained and rigid. All kinds of bold and unreasonable attacks fell on the head of the demon clan strongman. Sister Luo Ying, your opponent is small and flexible, and his body movements are as fast as lightning. Don't compete with him in speed. Predict his movement, then do something, and wait for him to do something, and you can easily take him down. Long Chun said to Luo Ying. The demon warrior who was fighting against Luo Ying was less than 5 feet tall. He held 2 sharp blades in his hands, just like a flexible monkey. His attacks were as fast as lightning and continuous, making Luo Ying sweat profusely. Hearing Long Chen's instructions, the demon warrior's heart trembled, and his speed instantly became faster. Luo Ying was surrounded by his phantoms, as if dozens of people were besieging Luo Ying. Boom! There was a sudden explosion, and at some point, a shield larger than the door panel appeared beside Luo Ying. The demon warrior's figure flashed rapidly, and he was caught off guard and hit the shield hard. Because of the speed, the shield was directly knocked out, and he himself was also hit with stars. Puff! At this critical moment, Luo Ying slashed down with a sword and directly killed the demon warrior. Luo Ying was dumbfounded. She didn't expect that killing a terrifying strongman only required such a simple action. When Long Chun was instructing her, he gestured with his hand and sent him 2 words at the same time: use shield. At that time, the powerful demons were like frightened rabbits, flying around frantically. Without thinking, she put the shield next to her. At that time, Long Chun asked her to predict the movements of the demon clan warrior, but the opponent's speed was too fast and she couldn't predict it. As a result, the prediction in Long Chun's mouth was meant for the demon clan warrior. In order to make the opponent unable to predict, it increased its speed to the extreme, which was equivalent to crashing itself to death. If your goal is just to kill the opponent, all tricks are feasible, and they are unconventional means, and the effect will be better. Long Chun looked at Luo Ying with a dazed face and said, "Zmo, your opponent is covered with bone armor all over his body, invulnerable to swords and guns. His fatal weakness is in the valley." Long Chun shouted, "What is the valley?" Zmo was sweating profusely at this time and shouted loudly. His opponent was a strange creature with a long and flat head, like a shoehorn, without facial features, and covered with palm-sized bone pieces. There was no weakness on his body. Zmo fought fiercely with it. The opponent was too strong and had amazing defense. He was not afraid of his attack and attacked without hesitation, almost killing him several times. "Don't you people in the fairy world eat grains? The place where the grains are excreted is the valley path," Long Chun said unhappily. "Even in the fairy world, people eat grains, but the grains in the fairy world are more diverse and contain the spirit of the immortals. If a grain of grain falls into the mortal world, it will become an elixir of immortality for mortals in the secular world." "Ah, I understand." Zimo was overjoyed, and his attack suddenly became fierce, focusing on the lower 3 roads, and his opponent was so scared that he clamped his buttocks. As a result, the more he feared something, the more it came. After a few moves, he was stabbed by Zimo and screamed in pain. Zimo was overjoyed when he saw it. The demon clan strongman relied on others not knowing his weaknesses to attack recklessly. He didn't usually have the habit of fighting while guarding his weaknesses. As a result, he was chased and stabbed by Zimo at this time, and was stabbed to death in a few strokes. Long Chun collected the corpse of the demon clan warrior and threw it into the chaotic space. When he saw that the corpse was swallowed by the black soil, the thunder giant egg had a slight change in its breath. Long Chun knew that after the corpse of this level was swallowed and decomposed, the power of the heavenly tribulation contained in it was absorbed by the giant egg. It was a good thing, but Long Chun needed more corpses. These corpses were just a drop in the bucket for Lei Linger. In order for Lei Linger to complete nirvana as soon as possible, Long Chun needed a large number of corpses. The higher the grade, the better. The corpses of ordinary strong men were almost useless to Lei Linger. Luo Jiang used the purple blood chain and the divine talisman to burn the soul. "This guy's soul power is so weak. Why are you wasting your energy on him?" Yang Ming used the purple flame field to limit his evil fire. Long Chun kept instructing everyone, and every sentence was sharp and pointed directly to the opponent's fatal flaws. After Long Chun's instructions, everyone found that this terrible and powerful enemy, once caught the weakness, turned out to be so weak. Puff, puff, puff. The demon clan warriors were killed one after another. After Luo Yanfeng and others killed their opponents, they did not help others, but surrounded them outside. Sure enough, as they expected, when half of them died, the group began to flee, but were killed one by everyone. This battle made Luo Yanfeng and others very excited. Long Chun opened a new door for them. Turned out that fighting could be like this. This battle was a great victory. Just when everyone was about to come to Long Chun for advice, Long Chun shouted, "Have you seen enough? If you have seen enough, you can show up." Long Chen's words startled Luo Yanfeng and the others. They had relaxed and were ready to rest, but they immediately grasped their weapons nervously. Buzz! Suddenly, the void trembled slightly, and the ripples like water slowly spread out, and a figure slowly emerged. This was a handsome man with a fair face and long hair. If it weren't for the two horns on his head, everyone would have mistaken him for a human. The demonic energy on this person was very light, and if you didn't sense it carefully, you couldn't sense it at all. What was strange about his demonic energy was that this aura didn't make people so scared and disgusted. This person had a graceful and elegant temperament, like a scholar. Compared with those tyrannical demon clan masters, he didn't seem to be a demon clan member at all. However, such a person touched everyone's side, but everyone didn't notice it at all. Everyone was shocked. This person looked harmless, but he was definitely a guy who wanted to kill people. Thinking of being harmless, everyone couldn't help but look at Long Chun. Long Chun was the same as that man. He was gentle and elegant, with the aura of a boy next door, but in fact, once he made a move, he would be a person who would scare people to death. So powerful? I used my innate breath-hiding technique, but I was still discovered. Are you sure you're not trying to trick me? The man appeared and looked at Long Chun in surprise. There was no murderous aura or hostility on this man. His expression and tone stunned Luo Yanfeng and the others. Is this guy really from the demon clan? You came when we were fighting these guys. Do you think I was tricking you? Long Chun said indifferently. After Long Chun finished speaking, he signaled everyone to put away their weapons. With him around, there was no need to act as if they were facing a great enemy. That's really powerful. The man nodded and said, although I dare not say how powerful my breath-hiding technique is, in our camp, no one, even a mid-stage divine emperor, can detect it. The reason why I was able to find you is, on the one hand, because I have killed too many demon clan members, which has formed a unique perception. On the other hand, one of my friends is from the same clan as you, so I sensed you as soon as you appeared. Long Chun said, your friend? You are a human. Making friends with the demon clan? The man was stunned. Long Chun smiled slightly and did not answer. Isn't there a person from your winged demon clan in the Dionysus Palace? Although this person concealed his aura and soul fluctuations, Long Chun still recognized that he was from the winged demon clan. However, the winged demon clan is too large and has endless branches. Long Chun could not determine which winged demon branch he came from. However, this person's aura is as vast as the sea and unfathomable. He is definitely an expert among experts. Interesting. I didn't expect to meet such an interesting human race before I left here. The man couldn't help laughing. Likewise, I didn't expect to meet such an interesting demon clan on the battlefield. Long Chun also laughed. I am Tsai Yingwudeo. The man opened his mouth and reported his name. The moment he reported his name, Luo Yanfeng and others exclaimed, the royal lineage of the winged demon royal family? In the textbooks of the Purple Blood Clan, the Tsai Demon Clan was recorded in detail. It was a famous royal family in the Chaos era. Although the Golden Winged Demons were also the royal family of the Winged Demons, they were only a branch, and the colorful Winged Demons were the true royal family of the Winged Demons. In the Chaos era, they were the overlords. When the man who called himself Ing Wudao appeared, their hearts sank. It turned out that the demon they were facing was actually the royal family of the Winged Demons. Long Chun was also surprised. He had heard of the colorful Winged Clan a long time ago. After all, he had killed so many people from the Demon Clan. The two sides were enemies who would fight to the death. There were some things that he had to understand. I don't understand. Since you are from the Tsai clan, why are you hanging out with a bunch of idiots? Long Chun couldn't help but ask. It's a long story. Ing Wudao sighed, and suddenly two gourds appeared in his hand. He threw one of them to Long Chun. Ing Wudao didn't say anything. He opened the gourd and drank it directly. The aroma of wine filled the air. The gourd was actually filled with wine. Long Chen also opened the gourd and drank it. Seeing Long Chen's action, Luo Yanfeng and others couldn't help but feel their scalps numb. That was the enemy, the demon clan. How could they drink what he gave them? If this was poison, wouldn't it be a death sentence? Seeing Long Chen drink it directly without any hesitation, Ing Wudao had no expression on his face, but there was a hint of fanaticism in his eyes. Puff! However, as soon as the fanaticism appeared, his face changed, because Long Chen directly spit out the wine in his mouth. This thing is also called wine? Long Chen curled his lips and threw the gourd away. With a wave of his hand, 2 wine jars appeared and he threw one of them to Ing Wudao. Ing Wudao took the wine jar and saw Long Chen holding the wine jar in the air. He opened the seal, but the wine aroma did not overflow. However, he drank it in one gulp without any hesitation. Good wine. After taking a sip of wine, Ing Wudao's face showed ecstasy. Of course it's good. This is the fine wine from the Dionysus Palace. Long Chen smiled. Dionysus Palace? That legendary existence. Ing Wudao was shocked. Obviously he knew the existence of the Dionysus Palace. Ha ha ha. I can't believe it. I can meet interesting human races and drink the legendary fine wine. Fortunately, I didn't leave too early, otherwise I would have missed it. Ing Wudao laughed and drank 2 more gulps with a look of satisfaction on his face. Seeing Ing Wudao drinking with Long Chen, Luo Yanfeng and others changed their expressions. Luo Yanfeng winked at Luo Ying and others, and they immediately understood and took a few people to keep watch around. They were not worried about the arrival of the Demon Clan's strong men, but they were afraid that the disciples of the Purple Blood Clan would see Long Chen drinking with the Demon Clan's strong men. If this was reported back, Long Chen would be charged with treason, which would be troublesome. I originally thought that there would be a life-and-death battle between you and me, but from your tone, it seems different from what I expected. Long Chen said. This Ing Wudao is very strong. So strong that Long Chen has to be careful when facing him, but strong men of their level usually disdain to use any conspiracy. Ing Wudao invited him to drink, but it was just a kind of mutual appreciation between strong men. Long Chen thought that after drinking, there would be a fateful battle, but now from his tone, he didn't seem to have any intention of fighting with Long Chen. In fact, when the 9 heavens were connected and our world was floating, I wanted to leave. But at that time they happened to go to war with your Purple Blood Clan. They were collecting your purple blood power to help the new generation of disciples practice. Then I stayed for a few more days to see if I could get some benefits. As a result, they were on guard against me everywhere. The meat was left for the freaks they sealed, and the soup was left for the fools on the battlefield. As for me, I didn't have any hair. If I didn't leave, what was the point of staying? Ing Wudao shook his head. Long Chen was stunned and asked tentatively, You mean, they are not from the same clan as you? Of course. They are just a group of beggars from the Demon Clan. A hint of sarcasm appeared on Ing Wudao's mouth. He took another sip of wine, looked at Long Chen and said, For the sake of your jar of fine wine, I will tell you one of their secrets. We owe each other nothing. Seeing Ing Wudao speaking, Luo Yanfeng and others immediately pricked up their ears. Who wouldn't want to hear the secrets of the Demon Clan? Long Chen shook his head and said, What's the debt? We are human, you are Demon Clan, and we have been enemies for countless years. You give me wine and I give you a jar. We are even. As for the Demon Clan, we don't care. This Ing Wudao is very strong. Long Chen doesn't want to get involved with him so as not to kill him. Long Chen's hands are stained with the blood of the Demon Clan. Can be said that the hatred is as deep as the sea. After all, the enemy is the enemy. Hearing Long Chen say this, Luo Yanfeng and others are not disappointed, but feel relieved. Long Chen's position is very clear. No matter what, everyone is an enemy. Haha. If that's the case, then I have to say it too. Damn, I get angry when I mention these bastards. Giving you some information is considered revenge for me. Ing Wudao laughed. It turned out that Ing Wudao's ancestor, during the Chaos War, led a group of demons to hide in the small world to avoid the catastrophe of that year. At that time, the Tsai clan was killed extremely tragically in that war, and almost all the strong ones were killed, leaving only some old, weak women and children alive. At that time, the Tsai clan led hundreds of demon branches and hid in the small world to survive. At first, it was nothing, but as time went on, after the previous crisis was resolved, a new crisis came again. The leaders of the hundreds of demon branches saw that the Tsai clan had declined, and they actually suppressed the Tsai clan directly. These demon masters knew that the Tsai clan had royal blood, and it was the purest and most authentic royal blood. Therefore, the Tsai clan, regardless of men or women, became tools for the reproduction of various clans. When Ing Wudao said this, it seemed that his mouth was a little dry, and he drank a sip of wine with a calm face. But Long Chun could see that Ing Wudao's hand holding the jar was a little unstable. Obviously, his heart was not as calm as it seemed. When Luo Yanfeng and the others heard this, they could not help but be stunned. They had previously thought that the internal disputes of the Purple Blood clan were dark enough, and the Demon clan was even more direct and brutal. After taking a sip of wine, Ing Wudao continued to tell Long Chun and the others that since then, the real colorful Wing clan has almost disappeared, and now all the colorful Wing clan are mixed blood. For all the races, after mixing blood with the colorful Wing clan, their strength has been greatly improved, but for the colorful Wing clan, it is equivalent to the noble and sacred blood being tainted. Fortunately, in order to prevent the fire from being cut off, the Demon clan allows some of the powerful people of the colorful Wing clan to retain the most original bloodline. However, those whose bloodlines are retained will be strictly monitored, and they will be constantly brainwashed to make them forget history because they are afraid of being retaliated. Moreover, the Demon clan will never allow this small number of people from the colorful Wing clan to have the strength to threaten the various races. When their strength reaches a certain level, they will have to intermarry with the various races and reproduce offspring, so as to tie their hearts. The man in front of him, Ing Wudao, was a man of extraordinary wisdom and forbearance. He had been hiding his strength. In order to gain the trust of those people, he had been servile for so many years, and finally gained the trust of some people who allowed him to move around in the clan. Originally, Ing Wudao was going to escape directly, but after the war between the Purple Blood clan and the Demon clan used special means to absorb the power of the Purple Blood to strengthen the strength of their disciples. He thought that, with his efforts over the years, he might be able to get a share of the spoils. But he didn't even get a share of the hair. Not only that, he was also mocked by countless powerful demons. At this point, Ing Wudao showed a sinister smile on his face. I escaped from the tribe today and will never go back. Originally, I wanted to kill some animals on the battlefield and vent my anger before leaving. However, some old guys in the tribe are very strong. If I alarm them, it will be troublesome. So for me, there is only one chance to make a move. I searched back and forth on the battlefield to see which people would be the most cost-effective to kill. I was struggling, but I met you. I am very pleased that the Purple Blood clan has such a strong master like you. Even if I don't make a move, I can know their fate. Hearing this, everyone was surprised and amused. No wonder Ing Wudao had no hostility towards them. It feels like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Ing Wudao hated the entire demon camp, but he had no way to take revenge. No wonder he was so happy when he saw the strength of Long Chun and others. Now Luo Yanfeng and others finally understood the cause and effect, and at this time they also let go of their vigilance against Ing Wudao. That is to say, you don't mind if we kill all the disciples of the Demon clan? Luo Yanfeng asked tentatively. Of course, it's best to kill the entire tribe and leave no one alive. Ing Wudao said hatefully. Where are your clansmen? Luo Ying couldn't help asking. Clansmen? There are no clansmen. After being brainwashed, they are manipulated like slaves. The Tsai clan has lost face. It's better to kill them all. In this way, the shame of the Tsai clan will be covered up. Ing Wudao said. Then don't we know this history? Luo Yanfeng looked at Ing Wudao, his eyes full of vigilance. You humans have a saying that family disgrace should not be made public, but this matter is just the opposite. It is better to make it public than to make it public. Moreover, you are humans and we are demons. When we meet on the battlefield, It is a life and death duel. What does it matter whether we know or not? I say this to make you trust me. Only when you trust me can we catch them all in one fell swoop. Ha! Ing Wudao waved his hand, and a leather bag flew towards Long Chun, who grabbed it. Let's go. If we meet on the battlefield one day, I will not show mercy. After saying this, Ing Wudao drank the wine in the jar. The whole person was like water, just blending into the void and disappearing. This Ing Wudao came silently and left without a trace, just like a ghost. His strange body movements made people's scalps numb. If you are targeted by such a person, your life will be in danger at any time. Long Chun was not surprised. This is a special blood power with its own space law which can hide in space. It looked very intimidating, but it was useless. He was not a professional assassin. As long as he made a move, no matter how well he hid, a real master would immediately sense it. Has he left? Luo Yanfeng couldn't help but ask. He has already gone far away. Don't worry about him. Let's continue to challenge the powerful demons of the same level. After Long Chun finished speaking, he asked everyone to continue moving forward. He quietly opened the leather bag, wondering what good things this guy had left for him. After opening the bag, there was a map, a nameplate, and a dagger covered with strange runes. The map depicted an underground lair. It seemed that the powerful demons lived underground. There were densely packed, crisscrossed passages inside, and the core area was specially marked. So this is the core area of the demons. Judging from the shape, the altar I saw is there. Seeing this picture, Long Chen's heart moved. The nameplate was Ing Wudao's nameplate, and it had his aura. Seeing this nameplate, Long Chen's heart moved, and then he looked at the dagger. When he saw the dagger, Long Chen's pupils shrank slightly. This dagger was an extremely ancient weapon. When Long Chun used his divine sense to explore it, the hair on his body stood up. Wow, it's actually a charging artifact. Long Chun didn't expect that Ing Wudao would give him such a terrifying magic weapon. The so-called charging magic weapon is a weapon that has its own spatial power and can accumulate energy. This kind of weapon is very rare. Long Chun had heard about the energy-charging weapon from Guoran. Guoran himself had studied it, but he gave up because the technology was not mature enough and the materials were too wasteful. There are generally two types of energy-charging magic weapons. One is to inject energy artificially, and the other is to absorb the energy of heaven and earth to charge the weapon. For example, a fire-type magic weapon can be injected with fire energy artificially, such as using treasures such as fire crystals and fire spirit stones to inject power into it. When it accumulates to a certain level and is released, the power can be said to be devastating. The weapon that Ing Wudao left for Long Chun is an energy-charging magic weapon that absorbs the energy of heaven and earth and grows on its own. This kind of magic weapon has a disadvantage, because it has its own formation and absorbs the energy of heaven and earth. This process is extremely long, usually in units of 10,000 years. This dagger, with the aura of chaos, is a product of the chaotic era at first glance. I don't know if it is an ancestral treasure of Ing Wudao's family. There are two types of energy-charging magic weapons. One is sustainable and the other is disposable. Because the materials used to charge divine weapons are very special, most of them are sustainable, and disposable ones are very rare. Long Chun just scanned it with his divine sense. The reason why he was furious was that once the energy of this dagger was detonated, not to mention him, the entire battlefield would be blown into nothingness, and no one could survive. It seems that Ing Wudao really hates this demon tribe. With this weapon in hand, he can die with them at any time. Long Chun couldn't help but think in his heart. If caught off guard, not to mention the early stage of the Divine Emperor, even the mid-stage Divine Emperor would probably have to suffer. What's the point of this kid giving it to me? Am I stupid enough to die with them? Long Chun was a little puzzled. Long Chun looked at the map again and found that the pattern marked was the shape of two crossed daggers. Is it possible to use this dagger to destroy the entire altar? Kill those bastards inside. Long Chun was stunned. He seemed to understand what Ing Wudao meant. Long Chun suddenly remembered that when Ing Wudao mentioned the mixed blood thing before, his eyes were full of resentment. It seems that the Tianjiao in the altar are the strongest hybrids in the demon clan. To Ing Wudao, these people are the shame of the Tsai clan. Thinking of this, Long Chun suddenly understood that Ing Wudao hoped that Long Chun could destroy the altar with a dagger. Otherwise these demon clan warriors would absorb enough purple blood power and break through the barrier to come out, which would bring great damage to the purple blood clan. At this moment, Long Chun was in a dilemma. If Ing Wudao had the chance, he would definitely kill the guys in the altar before leaving. And if he chose to leave, he must have no chance to do it. Now that this dagger was left to him, Long Chun was suddenly a little moved. He was very curious about the altar, and now Ing Wudao's reminder made Long Chun even more curious. It seems that the geniuses in the altar must be extraordinary. Otherwise Ing Wudao would not be so deliberate to kill them. But now Long Chun is facing two choices. One is to pretend that nothing happened, and the other is to disguise himself as Ing Wudao and sneak into the demon clan to see what the altar is like. If he chooses to go to the demon clan, Long Chun must leave immediately. If he goes too late, the demon clan may have discovered that Ing Wudao has escaped, and there will be no chance. And entering the demon clan's lair alone is too dangerous. Even with Long Chun's courage, he dare not try it easily. Damn it, it's the same old saying. The bolder the people are, the more productive the land will be. Do it! Long Chun gritted his teeth and made up his mind directly. Dozens of powerful demons were killed. Luo Yanfeng and his men were exhausted. The enemy was too strong, even stronger than the last wave. They tried their best to kill the opponent. They really used all their strength. After the battle, their hands and feet were numb and their bodies were weak. This was a sign of overdrawn strength. Seeing that everyone was no longer able to fight and had to go back to rest and adjust, Long Chun directly escorted them back to the Luo family. After handing all the heavenly Dao fruits to Luo Zichuan, Long Chun returned to the battlefield alone. After returning to the battlefield, Long Chun took out Ing Wudao's identity nameplate, activated the power of the demon blood, and completely concealed his breath. After changing his appearance, he looked at himself in the mirror for a few times. After making sure that there was no flaw, he ran directly to the depths of the demon battlefield. When Long Chun came to the battlefield where he was alone again, he was soon discovered. A demon monster with a cold face and a giant sword appeared in front of Long Chun. When he saw Long Chun, he shouted, "How can you appear on the battlefield? Hurry up and go back." Obviously, the people of the Tsai clan are not allowed to leave the demon nest. This is the consensus of every demon. Don't think that you can do whatever you want with a face and those women backing you up. Who are you? Don't you know it yourself? The demon monster roared. A few women? Long Chen's face was a little strange. Damn, Ing Wudao has not had an easy time these years. He has to sacrifice his appearance. Your lovers are all in seclusion. No one is protecting you now. If you don't want to die, go back quickly. The demon monster shouted coldly. Long Chun didn't say anything. Well, he got another useful news. It seems that those lovers are in seclusion. The so-called seclusion should be absorbing energy in the altar. Seeing Long Chun walk away in disgrace, the demon monster looked at him with a look of contempt and stopped bothering him. Long Chun was very smart. He used the power of teleportation to appear in his area, and that place was exactly the direction of the demon lair. So, it looked as if Long Chun had come out of the demon lair and was blocked by him. The demon monsters roared, and immediately attracted several divine thoughts to sweep over Long Chun. Long Chun's heart suddenly became a little nervous. Long Chun lowered his head and walked straight towards the demon lair. Soon, a team of demons with heavy casualties appeared. Long Chun's heart moved and he walked directly towards this team.